get down? I know you want to. Could we get down? Could we get down? Baby, could we get down to down to down? Could we get walking around with all that? You're way too keen, this ain't a kid's show. So glad I got a call back. Since I'm your nigga night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free. Oh, do you like it like that? Oh, do you like it like that? We'll see. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Oh, do you like it like that? Oh, then I like it like that. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Ain't no shame in your game, baby. Sometimes everybody needs a change of the scenery. Don't be afraid of your brain when you come to your senses. You'll be grateful that you came to me. Ooh, handcuffs on me, don't be loose. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, my lips seal them tight just for you. To be yourself. Do you like it like that? Oh, do you like it like that? We'll see. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Oh, do you like it like that? Oh, then I like it like that. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Could we get down, down to down? Could we get down? Could we, baby? Could we get down to down to down? Could we get down? I know you want to. Could we get down? Could we get down? Baby, could we get down to down to down? Could we get walking around with all that? You're way too keen, this ain't a kid's show. So glad I got a call back. Since I'm your nigga night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free. Oh, do you like it like that? Oh, do you like it like that? We'll see. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Oh, do you like it like that? Oh, then I like it like that. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Ain't no shame in your game, baby. Sometimes everybody needs a change of the scenery. Don't be afraid of your brain when you come to your senses. You'll be grateful that you came to me. Ooh, handcuffs on me, don't be loose. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, my lips seal them tight just for you. To be yourself. Do you like it like that? Oh, do you like it like that? We'll see. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Oh, do you like it like that? Oh, then I like it like that. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Could we get down, down to down? Could we get down? Could we, baby? Could we get down to down to down? Could we get down? I know you want to. Could we get down? Could we get down? Baby, could we get down to down to down? Could we get walking around with all that? You're way too keen, this ain't a kid's show. So glad I got a call back. Since I'm your nigga night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free. Oh, do you like it like that? Oh, do you like it like that? We'll see. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Oh, do you like it like that? Oh, then I like it like that. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Ain't no shame in your game, baby. Sometimes everybody needs a change of the scenery. Don't be afraid of your brain when you come on to your senses. You'll be grateful that you came to me. Ooh, handcuffs on me, don't be loose. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, my lips seal them tight just for you. Ooh, to be yourself. Do you like it like that? Oh, do you like it like that? We'll see. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Oh, do you like it like that? Oh, then I like it like that. Oh, if you like it like that, baby, bite, I bite back. You know I know how to mash it free. Could we get down to down?
Hello all. Hold on. Hello all. Pleasure. Hi. How's it going? See, hold on. There's crazy music playing right now, and it hurts my ears. Let's see. Oh, that's garbage. Everything I'm doing is wrong. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Hello all. Welcome. Good evening. Hi.
What's up, everybody? Sorry, I'm still muted. My bad.
Oh, you're good.
What's up?
So, we are doing a discussion today. Now, I know this is a very crazy juxtaposition, considering I just made a video about EDP 445. But in order for a light-hearted thing, I decided to. We came to how the background's crazy. Title is confusing. How's the title confusing? What is the title of my stream? Has DragonBall outgrown Akira Toriyama? Yes, that makes sense to me. Is what I feel as though I should explain what the stream's about, which I probably will do a multitude of times. So there is a possibility that Dragon Ball and One Piece are slowly becoming something anime and manga have almost never been. Characters that are bigger than the stories that created them. Genuinely bigger. Goku is approaching that, I feel, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man level, where you could erase half the continuity, change the artist, change the writer, change the decade, change the tone, and people would still want another story about Goku. And I found an example of this. There's a fan animation, Dragon Ball Legends, where we had an entirely alternate story. Everybody seen that fan animation?
I think I have. Is that the one where it's like Vegeta, fighting
Vegeta fighting Broly?
Fighting Broly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen
yeah.
And people love that. And people love that deeply. I feel as though we're reaching that stage. And I just got done reading the trash garbage that is Dragon Ball Multiverse. Because it is objective trash garbage. And I don't like it. The story's garbage. I don't know. I feel like when Dragon Ball fans get to a point, they don't know how to write the story. And there's a Dragon Ball AF, even GT fans even love it. There are so many different continuities of Dragon Ball. I feel as though that's amazing. And the reason Jay's here, this way, is because Luffy might eventually reach that territory too. These characters have existed long enough that children who grew up watching them now have children watching them. At some point, this becomes mythology. Right? Batman is no longer simply, oh my God, who made Batman? Bob Kane? Bill Finger? I think it's Bob Kane and Bill Finger. I believe that. I'm not quite sure. I think Siegel and Schuster made Superman. Hundreds of writers have touched these people. Crazy way to phrase that. I should have phrased that better. But hundreds of writers have touched all these characters, and thousands of artists have drawn them. Every generation essentially gets its own Batman. And are we approaching a world where every generation eventually gets its own Goku? So that's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. You know, I was watching the Battle of Gods movie, and I think Dragon Ball Super does a good job of answering all the questions the Battle of Gods movie presents. Like it shows you these different universes. So you want to see how strong the other people in the other universes are. And the Tournament of Power like already does that, right? So I'm kind of in a point where like I don't really know if we need more Dragon Ball continuation. Um, I kind of think what we have right now is already really good, but I'm not sure what you guys think about that.
Oh,
think because I think Dragon Ball, no matter what, it's gonna keep going, and it's gonna extend far past Toriyama. Mainly because as long as there's content to be made on it, and as long as people are still consuming it, someone's gonna find a way to make it. I think Dragon Ball Daima was the last thing that Toriyama really wanted to do in his heart. Like he just wanted to do it. And if
Mhm.
you look at the way Goku has transcended. So like Goku has transcended anime, and now he is like a prominent figure in gym culture. Like I'm an avid gym goer. I love going to the gym. It's one of my it's literally like mental health space. I can't tell you how many people will walk in with a Goku shirt. How many people will have some sort of Goku memorabilia somewhere? If you're in a fighting gym, if you're training and you're doing jujitsu, boxing, Goku's in there somewhere, right? He is now a symbol of hustle, right? And as the male space becomes a lot more of a you gotta hustle, you gotta work. The only thing you're gonna think of, especially when it comes to like a cartoon character, Goku is the image of the hustle. I gotta keep working. I'm never good enough. I'm never enough. It's like it gets into a really deep psychological actually icon that transcends anime. Now it's just like, yeah, it can get out of stuff. See, there's no way they're letting Goku go. Like they're
yeah,
not.
Yeah.
I can see anime turning into comic books.
I would hope so. And I think that's important because right now we have Torotaro. He's historically fascinating. He's another manga artist being trusted to draw and help continue the adventures of characters that become almost synonymous with their original creators. And I think because Dragon Ball is Dragon Ball a manga written by Akira Toriyama? Is Dragon Ball Goku? Is Dragon Ball the world itself? If somebody 50 years from now writes an incredible Goku story that Toriyama never touched because he's dead, obviously, rest in peace, is that somehow less Dragon Ball? I think comic fans solved this whole psychological problem decades ago by basically accepting that Batman survives his writers. Manga culture has traditionally been more connected to the individual author, and I think Dragon Ball is hopefully going to reach that stage, but it does, I think, pair into the question of, is it respectful to the artist?
No, that's a good question. I mean, the Dragon Ball Super manga has like 60 chapters that have not been
Boom, we got a
so
disconnect.
I would oh my
Animated.
bad.
No,
I'm
don't
not
worry,
sure.
don't worry,
He's
don't worry.
here.
We got
He's right. He's
animated.
right. He's right.
We know what you said.
Oh,
We can predict it.
oh my bad, guys. Yeah, my laptop's kind of a piece of garbage.
It's okay.
But what I was saying is there's about 60 chapters in the Dragon Ball Super manga that have not been animated yet. So there's a lot of material they have for making. So I'd like to see those animated. But also I kind of think like I don't know if we even need them. Because like I said earlier, I think Super on its own already is pretty good.
Hmm. I think now this is gonna sound crazy because I'm going to slander Dragon Ball. I think Akira Toriyama was pumping out a little bit of mid-tier silver when it came to the Buu saga, and then he got revitalized because somebody else tried to take his story and make something else with it, and we had an attempt
Mhm.
at westernizing Dragon Ball, and that was Dragon Ball Evolution, which was the hot piss, if I could be so bold to
Oh
say.
my goodness.
Yes,
Yeah,
just
it's
Worst things I've
terrible.
ever seen.
actual garbage story. He got so mad, he said, "You know what, Tagashi, hold my back. I'm gonna go back out there." Tagashi said, "Wait, no, you could die." He said, and he continued to make Dragon Ball Battle of Gods. No manga, just a movie out of nowhere. So hyped that everybody said, we need more Dragon Ball. All the kids that came back. Because Dragon Ball saved Japan's economy. Like, that is Japan's economy right there. It's beautiful in a way that even after his death, they said, "Hey guys, we know Akira Toriyama's dead, and there's basically no more Dragon Ball to tell. But what if there was? What if we just start bullshitting? What if we just?" I feel like we've
That's
reached that point. Because what is the end point of a Batman story? Like, right? What's the end point of that?
that's a good point. I mean, there's been so many ending. Has there? What is a definitive ending of a Batman story? Because I don't think I've ever like followed a Batman story to the end, except for like Batman Year One, maybe. Like, I don't know if you remember the Batman DC cartoon era, and there was like Old Man Batman,
Yeah,
and
with
he had his like last hurrah. Yeah.
he fought against Joker, I think, and then he like was old and decrepit, and he was like kind of moving around.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good. I
Yep.
liked it. I liked it. It was really good.
That was a really Batman Year One is a legendary series. I love that so much, man.
Yeah, we've even with Superman, because at what point are these characters symbols? Because what will it take? And I think this is the biggest issue, right? We have to escape the mindset of Japanese culture being artistic. I think when people think of Japan, they're thinking of torii gates and cherry blossoms and I don't know, just shrines and all this nonsense. That's what they're thinking. I think people need to view it from the lens of Japan is no better than America when it comes to money. And American comics have reached the stage where they didn't even consider that. I don't think anybody was reading because you know, Toucan Sam, like cereal mascots, they're propaganda pieces, right? Mr.
Yeah.
Clean, they're mascots, and comic book heroes are basically mascots. Like we have Superman fighting against, you know, I don't know, Native Americans. I don't really know what to tell you that. We have a lot of American propaganda there. We had Captain America being
I,
racist. That man was a symbol.
the character American racism. Let's not even. Hey, man.
Muties.
All you got to do is watch an old. All you got to do is just watch an old Popeye cartoon, and you'll know where they were.
You know where
these
they
things
were.
going on, man.
But it's I
You know,
go ahead.
go to finish your thought
I
because
think
you like me. I like you got to get that thought out. Get
yeah.
the thought out first, and then
I think it's better for Dragon Ball's legacy to have it be infinite at this point. I really do feel that way. That's where I'm at.
That's interesting. Why would you say you
I
think it's better? Oh, sorry, Jay. Sorry, you were saying something.
no. Go ahead. That's a good question because I'll answer afterwards.
Okay, so I think it's better for it to be infinite because it's why do superheroes get this luxury? Why do they alone get the luxury, right? What does that do? Should a story end when its author's ends? There is obviously something beautiful about saying yes. Maybe One Piece belongs to Oda's imagination, and once he tells the story he wanted to tell, everybody should close the book and appreciate that something wonderful happened. But then we look at people in America like J.K. Rowling, or we look at Batman, Dark Knight's Metal. Why cannot we have an extended continuity, or at least a DBCU, a Dragon Ball cinematic universe of some sort, in that variety where we have this big extended universe? Like, why can't we do that? I feel as though we are limiting Japan's potential because we respect art so much that we allow ourselves to be stopped by respecting the author. But do the fans own the properties? I feel like the fans are responsible for the property at some point because sometimes fandoms outgrow the author and become something bigger. Like there are fan mods of Undertale and Skyrim even with mod communities and things of that variety. At what point do you say Todd Howard's vision is perfect, or do you say no, this mod is better because the story is better and it's more cohesive?
That's a good point.
I think when it comes to just Japan in general, like the point that you mentioned with Japan, which I wanted to highlight, they are copyright, right? It's all copyright, right? That's the big stumbling block with Japan. If Japan would, and this isn't just like a policy, this is a mindset, this is a philosophy, this is like all of the Japanese people believe this, right? That they are the sole owners of the product and they only want their product on their terms, point blank period, and they want full control of it no matter what. So could Dragon Ball transcend its series? It absolutely could, but it will never go as far as it possibly could with the way they have copyright in play. Now, funnily enough, is Power Word a Japanese game as well?
Man, I'm not quite sure. I think Power World is maybe. What is Pocket Pair? Let me see. I can look that up. Pocket Pair's company. Pocket Pair company. Let's see. They are. Yep, it's Japanese independent based in Shinagawa. Yep.
Okay, because I was hoping they weren't because the way they have
Been moving.
escaped the clutches of Thanos, which is Nintendo, is to this day the funniest thing I've ever seen.
They've been moving
I don't
so
know how they escaped.
disrespectful. They're moving so disrespectful to
It it is
Nintendo.
it is so blatant what they are doing, and they have gotten away with it over and over again. And I'm like, this is actually just heroic. Like to me, it's heroic to see what Power Word is doing. But
Heroic.
anyway,
That's
the
crazy.
point that I'm making is that I really do think Goku will transcend the series. And I do believe if someone in America, for example, tried to do a series for Dragon Ball, like Japan would do everything in its power to destroy it. Or
Yeah.
and it's already, and the thing is it's already transcended a series because Dragon Ball is the only anime I would argue that people don't even consider it anime. Even though it clearly is anime. Like if you go out in the world, it's like Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Everybody loves Pokemon. Everyone loves Dragon Ball, right? You know that look where someone's like, oh, I watch One Piece. Oh, I don't know what One Piece is. What is that? If I say I watch Dragon Ball Z, everyone's like, I've never watched it, but I know what Dragon Ball Z is. The most common human being in the world will know what Dragon Ball Z is. If they see a picture of Goku, they're like, I've seen that dude in the orange jumpsuit. He screams at the television, right? So I'm at the point where sooner or later I feel like there's gonna be either one big giant courtroom war for Goku to expand, and there are different versions of Goku, or Japan is actually gonna copy America. They're just gonna have different versions of Dragon Ball with different companies. Will they ever escape the umbrella of Shueisha? I don't really know if that's even possible. I think Shueisha would rather just have a bunch of umbrella companies and just ship out Dragon Ball anywhere to expand. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Lee?
I mean, they were talking a bit about remaking Super. And did they confirm that they're
Yeah,
gonna
it's coming out
do-
fall.
yes,
It's
it's
fall. If
coming,
this
it's coming.
fall is it's like 2 months
gonna
is
do
coming
it,
out. 2
yeah.
months is coming out.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about that. I mean, we're seeing Super the same story for the.
Like fifth
I
time.
don't really like that.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, and how many Batman origin stories have there been? Right? And I have to ask you this question, and I think about this all the time. When Diamond came out, a lot of Dragon Ball fans didn't watch it because it was talking about the past, right? Dragon Ball fans, and I hate to phrase it this way, are dumb. And I think and I'm a Dragon Ball fan through and through. And I think the stupidity of Dragon Ball fans is going to allow Dragon Ball to supersede any story that came before it. Because, and it's a big reason why I got you here, Lee. Let me explain this to you. How many times have you had the conversation that Kid Buu could beat Ultimate Gohan Fuse Super Buu? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I've seen that a bunch of times. Yeah.
Perfect. Is that not the stupidest thing you've ever heard?
I mean, I blatantly disagree with it. There's some like power scaling sweats out there that have like arguments for it. But yeah, I personally disagree with it.
You want to know why?
I just don't want to be mean to anybody.
No, you want to know why they even argue that Kid Buu is stronger than Super Buu? It's not even because of statements or anything like that, right? You want to know why it is? You want to know the real reason? It's because Kid Buu appeared after Super Buu. That's it. That is the only reason. There are people with their whole chest that say Vegito is weaker than Kid Buu.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy.
There are people that
that's just not the case.
but they believe that.
Yeah.
They believe Ultimate Gohan would lose to Kid Buu as well.
So do they think Super Saiyan 3 Goku is stronger than Vegito? Is that their take?
Listen, I'm not here to talk to Dragon Ball fans.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
fair. I was just curious.
You're trying to use logic where it doesn't exist. At least in One Piece selling power community, you could have some definitive nuance, like okay, Mihawk might not be able to beat Boa Hancock because that brother might actually get an erection. You never know. Who knows? But then we have people that will say, "All right, guys, Perona can kill Emu," and then you're thinking to yourself, Has Emu been depressed? I don't know. That seems a little bit psychotic. Does Haki nullify her fruit powers? We don't know yet. I'm 100% positive it does. It's just there's a lot of stuff that is open ended with Dragon Ball, but it's not open ended because it's always been a scaling up story. And because Akira Toriyama tried to do a little bit of nuance, he messed up what he's been doing since the beginning of the story. He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that because whenever anything new popped up, I'll think about it like this, right? Every arc in Dragon Ball, every new transformation meant the person was stronger. Every time a new transformation popped up in the Buu arc, there has not been a single victory. Every new transformation, there was no victory because of it. Super Saiyan 3 has 0 victories in the manga. Vegito has 0 dubs. Gotenks has 0 victories. Ultimate Gohan has 0 victories. Every new transformation, 0 victories. Just no victory. And I think that messed things up really bad.
Which is shocking.
I
Gotenks having no victories is shocking.
He's got 0.
But
He's
it's
got
true.
0 dubs.
That's great.
He's got nothing.
Kind of crazy.
I mean, when you think about it, I've reread Dragon Ball at least 40 times, and I'm like, he's got to have something. Super Saiyan 3 Goku didn't win one time. I was redoing it. Like, why do I like this character so much? And want to know why I like him so much? Because he looks cool. And I think we need to focus.
He's a long hair.
We got to focus on things looking cool. And I think we got to be stupid enough to let Dragon Ball continue forever. I think we have to be that dumb to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball is one of those series where pretty much any new material they put out, as long as the characters are getting stronger, it'll be fun to watch. Like I was saying earlier, though, I do feel like Super's kind of done everything I wanted it to do. Is there things you guys would want to see animated or like added in the future of the story to Super?
Jay?
I mean, without spoiling, I mean, I don't read the manga, but I know things in the manga because I know like next word the moral thing is coming up, right?
Yeah,
With
there's Moro.
Yeah.
But let me phrase it a different way, Jay. Would you want to see Goku fight against, I don't know, the Grand Priest, or like Wiz, or actually beat Beerus?
honestly, no, I don't. I would say I think my love for Dragon Ball, my love for Dragon Ball Z, kind of stopped. Was it at Super?
It's
I'm with you. I think my hate for Dragon Ball was like, so Jiren is definitively stronger than Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, like
like, is
I
he
because
just
like
stronger?
Jiren,
Am I
because I've
stupid?
watched Super and Jiren just made my head hurt so much.
Jiren had
And,
Jiren had a very, and if I could be so bold to say, because it's kind of topical, Jiren had a very EDP 445 villain origin story, and
very much so.
I'll explain EDP 445's villain origin story. One girl was mean to him in high school, and thus he became a predator. So Jiren had that same kind of background where like he had one guy do something kind of mean to him. He killed my master. Everybody's master's dead. Frieza took out a whole race. Vegeta has more reason to become a villain than you. So like, it's very. I have to defeat a person that's stronger than me. Why is he not in this universal fight? Is really what I have to ask you, Jiren. Why is the person that beat Jiren's master not in the fight for the person's universe? It's really.
That is, I mean, that's just a great point. I mean, in like even in general, like because Jiren's backstory was so disappointing. Where I'm like, bro, this is it. This is the reason. This is the reason. Like, you're so edgy, and everybody like might makes right. This is like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't genuinely believe that was all it was. And even then, like Super Saiyan Blue, it was cool. I thought it was kind of corny. Like, I thought Ultra Instinct was really cool. I thought that was a really unique concept. But once you got into like the gods, I felt like it was less about martial arts and more about hacks. And I think that's when I got a little bit concerned because it's like the higher up you go, he's got this destroyer energy. Whis is like, it's getting to the point where like the scaling is going so high where it just doesn't feel like the martial arts Dragon Ball Z that I grew up on. It feels more like
at that point, and I have to defend Dragon Ball ever so slightly.
yes,
And I mean,
yes,
original
yes.
Dragon Ball, that got to be nothing but hacks at a point. The devil might beam. Brother said, "You got a little bit of evil in your heart. I'm killing you." Like that. That was like his whole give
That
spike.
so you talking about like because so there was also in Dragon Ball, right? They had the Mafuba, right?
Yeah, put
They've
a
always
brother in
had
a
magic
jar.
in there, Mr. Popo, all of that stuff, I guess. Even with the Bobity's another one, right? And I think I'll be frank, I love Dragon Ball Z and I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. It's my favorite anime. But like you're talking to a guy that has also just kind of seen Dragon Ball, but I haven't watched or read Dragon Ball from start to finish. I've just experienced bits and pieces of it. So like, yeah. So my
TikTok
my
understanding of Dragon Ball. No,
that's really what it is. So like for me,
That's really what it is.
like
That's what-
I'm like, and here's the crazy part. I'm a huge lover of Dragon Ball GT. People think Dragon Ball GT is mid. I love GT.
yeah.
I love it. Welcome
Bro,
to the
I
Grand Tour.
I actually liked it better than Daima. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I
No,
did
no,
like
I'm
GT
I'm
better than
so
Daima.
with you on GT over Daima. It's crazy.
Yeah, I liked it more. I don't
Silk
know.
I love
Press,
GT.
Silk Press Super 17 is the greatest character arc of all time.
Yes. The hair, Super 17. To be baby was cool. And then Super Saiyan, like Goku going Super Saiyan 4, hyper memorable. Vegeta Super
Mhm.
Saiyan 4, oh my god, amazing. Gogeta with the red hair, amazing.
Have you
Right? Super
have
Saiyan 4
you
Gogeta.
have you rewatched GT recently at all? Like, have you recently? Because I'll say this as somebody that has rewatched it the last year. The beginning is insufferable.
Oh,
Oh
so
my.
I remember because I remember the travels. I remember the Bopara brothers, Pan, Trunks, just genuinely awful television.
General
But
Raldo.
after the awful television, that's when things start to really pick up. Like there is a section of GT that is actual dog water. I agree.
Lee, I have a question for you. You've
What's up?
power scaled Dragon Ball before, yes?
Yeah, yeah,
Where do
a
you
bit, a
where do
bit.
you place General Raldo above Cell? Is that where you're at?
Um, he, I think he fights against the Kid Goku, right? He fights against GT Goku, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think GT Goku has this line of dialogue where he says he's like stronger than Boo, doesn't he? If I'm remembering the right guy. Geraldo.
I mean, you would know more than me. Brother. So let me go through my scans folder. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay. I think he does have some dialogue where he says he's stronger than Boo. And then there's also like this discussion that like GT Goku, even in his kid form, might be way stronger than he was in the original Z series. So like I haven't scaled GT too much, but I've seen arguments that like everyone that
That's right. Everyone just cut out. You just cut out for a second.
oh
You said
my
that
my
everyone
bad.
and what?
Oh, I'm sorry about the
It's
cutouts,
okay.
guys.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so I've
It
seen
happens.
arguments that like pretty much every villain in GT is like beyond the original Z cast.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I think Raldo was like one of the first people they fought, and like Goku has this line where he says he was stronger than Boo, and Goku can still like hold his own with him, so it like upscales everybody. Like
That's really
I,
funny.
yeah.
That means like Oceanus Shinron is ridiculous. Oceanus upscale is insane. I'll never forget that Oceanus when he popped up. I
Is
was like,
that
it's the dragon. It's the blue dragon and
in the water?
yeah, that one sucks. Hate that, brother.
Yeah, some of them Shenrons are mid too. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of them are not memorable at all. Actually,
Only
now that I think about it.
Nuova, Ice, and just Shin. I think those are the only three that people care about. Like that's it.
Yeah, Omega Shenron. Omega Shenron is the one I remember the most.
Yeah, he's the goat. This is the goat. I think that's really where it's at. But on that point, let's say for example, right? I think Superman's been around for what 90 years, right? And I think it's because Superman became an idea for different generations to reinterpret. There's Batman there's Batman Beyond, and Batman, at least in my lifetime, has been through camp, gothic horror, detective stories, science fiction. There's been psychological thrillers. I've seen children's cartoons of Batman Beyond. I've seen prestige films, absolute nonsense with the shark repellent spray. Some interpretations are
Shark
just
repellent spray.
shark. That's the best thing I've ever seen, man. It's just complete garbage. But they're terrible. And even now, Even some are masterpieces too. But even now, right? I think Goku deserves that freedom to suck ass. I think it really deserves the freedom. I really do want that for Goku because when you think about it, right? Goku now is trash as a character to me. He is dumb as
Yeah,
hell. He's
bro.
stupid. He's dumb. But that's good
Yeah.
to me because now Goku has to relearn what he learned from Master Roshi. And it's beautiful. I think it's so dumb. It's amazing. It's almost like I'm reading a different story. And that's what I like to see. Because it's dumb. It's almost idiotic. We could avoid this entire thing if we didn't have one continuous story, but different stories going on at the same time. That would be way better to me.
Did you guys
So
see
you
one
were
of the newest chapters where Goku didn't remember Pan? Like,
Yeah. Well, it's a pun. It's a Japanese pun because pan means bread. It's like a whole thing. He's like,
oh, maybe that's what it was.
yeah. It's as an avid previous translator of Toriko manga, I read raw scans a lot because sometimes the translations are like, would you just do Kaizen? I was reading the raw scans just to translate it better because it was garbage. The translations were garbage. So seeing
Yeah.
that pan line, I was like, this is a pun. This is a pun. This is supposed to be a pun. This is Toritaro making a stupid pun. It's just a pun. I don't know what to tell people.
Okay. No, I'm happy to hear that. Actually, like, makes me like Goku a little bit more because I agree with you. He's kind of like a shell of his original self, and I haven't really liked that too much.
Now, are you talking about in the current manga this is happening?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he's garbage. Let me phrase it better, right? Imagine you grew up with the Hammers of Justice or Unisex, Batman, and then you read the Batman Who Laughs. You know the Batman Who Laughs? Like he's the Batman who got hit with the Joker serum, and yeah.
I think I remember it, but very, very vaguely.
So
So let's just say no.
I'll do a better interpretation. You see a new Superman movie?
Yes.
You grew up with Superman and how strong he was and ridiculous he was and how like genuinely insane he was.
Yeah.
So it's like watching those two Supermans and comparing them back to back. Like Superman was educated, he was smart, he could read a book in 2 seconds, and then this new Superman's like, "Is this brother Spanish?" And you're like racist. And I was like, could you imagine? No, but on a realistic note, it's like this Superman is like less Superman. He's struggling picking up like 1 billion pounds, and you're like, my Superman can pick up Jupiter. Like that's really where I'm at.
My Superman can pick up Jupiter.
I'm just saying that's my
I mean,
Superman.
canonically, but yes. Yes. Okay, I
mean,
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really been too happy with how Goku's been portrayed recently. But what I would like to see is actually more of Goten. Like, I'd like to see Goten reach like Super Saiyan 3 and actually be like a real character. Because Goten really is like the potential man in Dragon Ball more than Gohan in my
What you're asking for, and if I could be so bold to say, is you're asking for a side story. Now you know who does side stories really well? Marvel. Marvel
do.
does.
That's true.
I if you've ever read a Spider-Man side story, oh, it warms my heart to see Spider-Man just get traumatized. Oh, it's so good. I'm just like, oh, this man deserves suffering. It's because it's so good. You're not a true Spider-Man fan if you want him happy. I tell you that much.
You know, it's funny because I don't read Spider-Man comics, but I've engaged in Spider-Man through so many different mediums. But everybody tells me like Peter Parker and suffering. That's what I'm here for. And I was like, like I'm used to Batman suffering.
Batman is nothing compared to Spider-Man. Oh my god,
It's that bad?
Yeah. Oh my god, there was a story. I remember this specifically. There was a story where Fisk, right, and this is really dark. I apologize for it being so dark. He got inappropriately attacked in prison. To be so bold to say, I gotta be good for Twitch.
Fisk?
Yeah, Fisk. Kingpin got inappropriately attacked in prison.
That's in the manga? That's in the
that is in the manga. No, you got it right. That's in the manga. That's canon. And then it was by like a big black guy, and he said, and he's like,
oh
and he,
no,
and he
not
put,
the big.
yeah, and he put a picture of his
That's
wife
insane.
in front of him, and it was like,
No.
yeah. And Fisk was like, while he was getting like his chocolate starfish Kupelgomped, he's like, when I get out of here, just wait. And Fisk gets out, and then Fisk has like a bunch of homeless people attack his wife, and it's like it's a crazy dark story. And then Fisk is he sends the video to the dude in prison, and Kingpin's like, "Yep, what's up?" And Spider-Man's just like, "Hey, Fisk, that's not cool." And then the same thing happens to like Mary Jane, and I'm like, it's evil. It's like pure evil.
Mary Jane gets
it's evil. It's like pure evil.
Wait. Okay, so let me try to understand this.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
'Cause I don't know
evil.
if I really processed what he said. It is Fisk that is getting gooplegopped
Yeah,
in prison
yeah.
with
And
a picture of his wife that he has to look at while he's getting
the
gooplegopped.
black man has a picture of his wife, so he thinks about his wife while he's gooplegopping.
The black man is thinking about his wife while gooplegopping Fisk.
Yeah, correct.
Fisk.
That's what happened. Yeah.
So then what is with the homeless people? What
Oh, sorry.
Fisk does?
Fisk hires a bunch of homeless people to attack the black man's wife in the same way he was attacked, and then sends that
Okay,
video
all right,
to the
get
guy
back.
in prison. Yeah, crazy get back. And then like Spider-Man has like this thing, and Fisk is like, and this is like a separate story. I know Mary Jane got attacked in that way too, but then like Fisk sends an assassin to Aunt May, and then Spider-Man says, "All right, I understand. I know what I must do." Spider-Man pops up because Kingpin revealed his identity. He took his mask off. He said, "I'm not here, Spider-Man. I'm here to kill you." And Kingpin's like, "Huh?" He said, "I'm here to kill. As Peter Parker, I'm going to kill you." He said, all right then." And then he's like, "You don't understand. You're a regular person. I'm a super human." And he's just beating the crap out of him. And Fisk is like, and he said, "Now, what I'm gonna do." He puts like his web shooters inside of his nose, and he says, "Now, what I'm about to do is you got 5 seconds, and all the web's gonna go through your brain, your eyes, your eyeballs, going through your body, and you're gonna suffocate from the inside out." And he's like, "Huh? Yeah, you're gonna suffocate." And it was 5, and Kingpin's like, "No, wait, 4, 3, 2." And Spider-Man puts it down and says, "I can do this anytime I want to. Anytime I feel like it, this could happen. And all of you better know, if you mess with Peter Parker, you will die. I've been nice to y'all for too long." And he leaves. And that is so good. It's such a good story. It's so good.
So I have many questions. I have many questions. And one of the main questions is one, which comic book version of Spider-Man is that? What
Yeah,
what is
I can find the story. Hold on. Let me see. Spider-Man beats Kingpin
Gooplegopped?
as yeah. Oh my god. Oh, the
be
Google
using
got one. I got you.
I'll
I
be
got
using
you.
that one.
It's the best.
Yeah,
Let's see. It's an r/Spider-Man. He takes this off. The Amazing Spider-Man numbered 542 in 2007. That was that one. And then
2007. That
Yeah.
sounds like 2007. Yeah.
let me see.
You said Amazing Spider-Man 57?
Yeah, amazing. Oh wait, hold on. Let me go back to it. Amazing Spider-Man. Let's see. The Amazing Spider-Man 542 in 2007.
542. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Issue 542. Interesting.
I haven't seen that entire comic, but I've like read that portion where it's Spider-Man fighting Fisk, and I think something interesting about Spider-Man is that he's always holding back when he's fighting for the most part because he's trying not to kill people, and that scene shows you what like a not holding back Spider-Man is like capable of, because he like in theory could be doing those like web brain attacks to everybody, but he just doesn't do that.
Oh, he's wearing a black Spider-Man suit this time. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna find the Fisk story where he best way I can describe it, got the guy to the homeless people to attack his wife. It's hard to find because you can't look up anything provocative on Google. But
he took off his shirt. Okay, he actually took off the shirt. Like he actually started fighting like a hood nigga.
yeah, you're eating it. Yeah, it's evil.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't see the thing before it. I'm just seeing him fighting. I mean, he's beating the piss out of him. I respect it. Oh, he's slapping him. Oh, this is great.
It's real good. So this is what I want for Dragon Ball.
This is what
I'll
you
go
want
ahead
for
and-
Goten specifically.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
want a
I'll
side
just
story where
throw it in
Goten fights like he unearths some earthly threat, right? Like old campy Dragon Ball, right? Goten's doing Goku-esque adventures, like high school side manga, right? And there's been One Piece side mangas as well. There's like One Piece, well, at least the One Piece side stories, One Piece heroines. There's been that, like the side shows, and those work pretty well. I think people are happy with that. Even the fan letter was essentially something like that. And let's see, gets if I can find it.
I mean, I really just want to see a Super Saiyan 3 Goten. It's weird to me that he could go Super Saiyan 3 in like the Gotenks form, but we've never seen a Super Saiyan 2 or 3 from him individually yet after all this time.
We have.
I really do
No.
want to see that.
I feel like he has the
I feel
potential because of Gotenks too. He has the potential.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, I feel like Trunks, I don't really care what Trunks does because we've already gotten so much from the future Trunks. He's just a better version of the same character. We don't really, I don't really care what the modern era Trunks does. But Goten he's like the Usopp of Dragon Ball. He has all this potential and just hasn't used it.
That's true. We're missing we're missing a lot. We're missing a lot of plots here. I feel like we're missing a lot of lore. Because if we had other authors and mangas having different continuities, it's very I don't like the fact that people aren't satisfied with Goku. Yeah. Oh, which okay, here it goes. Jason Aaron and Steve Dillon's Punisher Max. In Punisher Max #2, Fisk's backstory is revealed that he was incarcerated. An inmate named Big Lucky, along with several other prisoners, S8 Fisk in the prison showers. It's Punisher Max.
Big Lucky.
Yeah, Big Lucky. And in the aftermath,
this-
yeah. It's Punisher Max's Punisher Max 1-5 is written by Jason Aaron and by Steve Dillon. And that's the one I was referencing. Got those mixed up for some reason, but that's what I need from the Dragon Ball continuity. I need something like that. I need like Vegeta getting like his arms broken and like he usually gets his arm broken, like annihilated. Or like Videl going through like mental trauma after she fought Spopovich, and we get a side story with Videl learning about her mental state, about why she gave up fighting in totality. Because she got real docile at the Spopovich. She got real docile. And Goku was like, I went through this when I was a kid. Got real docile.
For me personally, I don't really need like a deep story from Dragon Ball anymore or like elaborate storytelling. Like just give me another tournament. If I get another tournament, I'm happy. Like I think that's like super proved to me that they can do tournament arcs really well still. So if we just get more tournament arcs and we can see like Goten and Trunks do some cool stuff, like I think that would be great.
I bring this question now because this is also it's surprisingly important to me. And I think about this when I'm thinking about my stream is messing up. Hold on, I can feel it. I'm getting bodegaed. I'm watching it. I'm watching it get annihilated. Hold on, I'm looking at it. Okay, we're good now. We're good. Xfinity Tights act right. Who actually owns the story of Dragon Ball when you really think about it, right? Even One Piece, right? Legally, there are companies, publishers, estates, contracts, intellectual property rights. Philosophically, everything gets much messier. The author created the character. I always think that Stan Lee made all of Marvel, but that's not true. The corporation distributes the character. The artist develops the character. The audience remembers the character. Fans spend decades interpreting the character. We're arguing about him right now. I've drew Goku in my art book when I was younger. I've cosplayed as Gogeta. I've cosplayed as Kid Buu. At what point does a fictional character enter cultural mythology? Nobody watching, let's say, let me do an example, Dracula today, is sitting here thinking about Bram Stoker. Most people don't know who Bram Stoker is. Nobody gives a damn about Mary Shelley. Frankenstein is Frankenstein. Sherlock Holmes, Arthur Conan Doyle. No one thinks about that. Hercules, I don't know who told Hercules. I don't have that kind of information. But eventually, culture grabs certain characters and refuses to put them down. That is where we're at with the Dragon Ball, and that's what I saw when Toyotaro got Goku. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Mm-hmm. To me, it seems like I don't know all of the specifics, but it does seem like Toyotaro wants to do more work than he's allowed to do. Like he seems like he wants to, keep the manga going, make chapters more regularly, but he's like for some reason not allowed to do that because he hasn't put out a new chapter in like a year now.
Well, you got to understand, right? Goku is a very sensitive topic in Japan, right? It's when I was in Saitama, they were talking about this thing with samurai essence and all this stuff. I'm not a big Japan culture fanatic when it comes to the patriotism of Japan, but there's this. I guess we would attribute it to machismo. There's this machismo behind manga, right? And Jay, do you know about Japan's work culture, Jay?
Yes, I do. It's awful.
Yes.
Awful.
Yeah. So we all grasp
Genuinely
it.
awful.
It's horrifyingly bad. It's like don't look each other. And when I was in Japan, I got in trouble a lot because I like looking people in the eyes. Did you know in
Same.
Japan
Yeah,
you're
it's
not
really weird.
you're not supposed to
They
look
do
them in the
not look
eyes?
people in
They
the eye.
hate it.
No, they
Oh.
don't like the staring. They're not hug. It's a very odd, very antisocial place. It really is. There's a lot of the social cues are so different there compared to where it is here. Like it's shocking. And I mean, you're black already, so it's just like, oh my god, like I'm already uncomfortable. But
It
now
is.
I have no form of connection. I'm just
It's like,
black and I'm
yeah.
lonely.
Yeah, get this. This man's darker than under the bed. Why is he trying to
Black
say
and
hello? It is.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean,
I look like a starless night in Japan. That's what I look like. That's what I look like. I'm just dark. That's really all I am. It's sad. It's saddening to be fair with you. And when you have that kind of culture, and you have people that respect, it's a respect thing, right? You know.
it is very much respect culture. Yeah.
So when you have this respect culture in Japan, and Toriyama wants to do all these amazing near Americanized things where there's many interpretations. Maybe he even loves things of that variety. But then there's the hierarchy. Hold on, young buck. You ain't got the tenure. Take, for example, Oda, right? Oda can take a break. Do you know how insane, how psychotic it is that Oda's reached that tenure? Now, Togashi can take breaks and stuff like that. He's got that there. But Oda is the reason Japan is alive right now. Oda pops into, he'll pop up with he'll put a Denden Mushi of his balls on the table and say, boom. And they're like, what's this? This is my 2 weeks notice. Oh, you're giving up? No, I'm not giving up. I'm just going a monthly now. And they beg this man every week not to go monthly. And he's just like, you sure, guys? It would be a much better story. He's like, no. We need to live. We got families to feed, Oda. You're our family. And he says, I'm not y'all family. I'm married to Nami. Care about y'all. And he goes home to his Nami cosplayer wife and cracks her to their son named Sasuke, I think.
There's no way they have a son named Sasuke.
I'm like 80% sure that Oda's son's named Sasuke. Hold on. Oda's son's name. Let's see. Should Oda does not have a son? Who has a son named Sasuke?
I knew. I was like, that's something false about this.
Which mangaka has a son named Sasuke? He has 2 daughters. Has a son named Sasuke or Naruto. Is either Sasuke or Naruto. I forget what is one. Oh, Toriyama's son was named Sasuke. I'm getting it all mixed up. Toriyama's son is named Sasuke. Toriyama cannot crack his wife canonically. He is beyond the years of that. He's gone. So I got that mixed up.
You know, if One Piece went monthly, I would be sad by that, but I would also be okay with it because, in my opinion, like me personally, I think I respect Oda the most out of any mangaka. Like to keep this many people hooked in a story this long, and it's still very.
So the funny thing about that cutout specifically is that I'm muted to ruffle in these bags of tortilla chips, and I thought I actually interrupted him because I thought I did not mute. And I said, "Yo, I am so ignorant." I thought I was so uncomfortable. I was like, "Yo, was that me?" I'm sorry.
My bad.
Keep going.
Keep
Keep
going.
going.
Keep going.
Oh yeah,
It happened.
I cut out. Huh?
We've all been there. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. We'll just keep telling you when it happens and just repeat yourself. That's it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, what I was saying is like, the fact that One Piece has gone this long and it still feels like One Piece and it still has people hooked on the story is a very underrated feat. Like if you look at a lot of other manga that are running around like the 500 or 600 chapter mark, they kind of stop feeling like the original story. Like I'd say that's what happened with Naruto. Like the final war arc doesn't really feel the same as like original Naruto. I think a lot of manga are like that, but One Piece
goes the
is not,
issue.
so.
No, here goes the issue. It's because it's one guy writing it. You see what I mean? There has never been a single Marvel or DC story that doesn't have at least a bunch of writers on it or something of that variety where it ends after like 50. There's no like the longest one I can think of maybe is 100 issues, maybe. I can't think of one some past 100 issues. Even with the White Lantern story, right? You know what I mean? Stuff like that with Dark Knight's Metal or DC 1 or was it DC Rebirth? I think of DC Rebirth. It's a bunch. It's always like it has to have an endpoint contextually, right? And then it tells its story and then moves on. I'll give you a fun example. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I guarantee you, if JoJo's Bizarre Adventure had like 50 authors and 20 artists, nobody would care. I promise you, nobody would care. Everybody'd be like, yeah, this is all canon. It's a bunch of different universes. This makes sense. And because Dragon Ball did the brave, amazing thing of all time by making 12 universes, we have the potential is there. There are 12 universe, and it's 12. Am I stupid? There's like 12 universes, right? Is it 12? Am I
Yeah,
dumb?
it's 12. Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah, I
12.
think it's 12.
There's
Yeah.
12 universes. Why can we not go to where I don't know Kaba is and learn about the King Vegeta of there? Would that not be cool? Maybe there's a King Kaba. That'd be sick, right? I feel as though we have the continuity, the DBCU, the bigger era of it. It's just nobody is using the Dragon Ball universe to full totality.
No, that's actually a really interesting point because, like, if you look at Kaba's universe, I think they had like alternate universe versions of like every main Dragon Ball character, like Kaba's Vegeta, Khalifa. I'm not sure. Is Khalifa Goku?
Khalifa will be Goku. She's dirty. Yeah, that's Goku. She's a
Oh, you know what? That's-
dirty tramp. That is what she is. 100%. That is what she is. I despise her. I despise that character. I apologize. I gotta get my hate out there. Why do I despise
Okay,
Khalifa?
let's unpack the Khalifa hate. I'm not saying I like her. I just wanted it unpacked. That's it. Maybe I'm a monster, but
Khalifa is
he's he's hyperventilating. You see this? It's
I-
like he's red.
I
Oh, no.
hate I hate her because she is the sole reason we got. I'll give you an example. I talked about this with you and Murphy. I love when shows refuse to explain the magic. I think what makes Studio Ghibli films so amazing is that they actively refuse to explain the magic. I think when a show
True.
explains the magic, it ruins the allure of it. It ruins the beauty of it. For instance, when Attack on
Immersion,
Titan
yes.
explained Ymir, I was like, this is kind of ass. It sucks. When it's just kind of stupid. It's really dumb. When Naruto explained Kaguya, I was like, this is a bunch of garbage. It's actually stupid.
I didn't need that. Just beat Madara and let's move on.
Yeah,
I would have been
it's
great. With
just garbage. I really didn't grasp it. I don't care if Naruto was Ninja Jesus. Just keep pushing. It's explain the Studio Ghibli actively refuses to explain the magic. Like, how does Hal's magic work? I don't know, nigga. He's handsome. Like, it's just really just it's just nonsense. It's just garbage. Spit it away. How does this work, pigs? Good luck. Like, that's really where we're at. Dragon Ball was like, okay, so this tingly feeling in your back, right? And the first time I heard tingly feeling was when I looked at Caulifla. So I'm associating trauma to Caulifla right now, and she popped up and she was going bar for bar, toe to toe with Goku, and Goku was teaching her. It was I like that part. That was really cool. I thought it was awesome because Caulifla is Goku, and that's why they had that back and forth because they were teaching each other. It was well, Goku was teaching Caulifla because Goku saw himself in Caulifla because she was battle crazy and really excited like most Saiyans, but it was more so a learning experience, and that's amazing. And Caulifla had that caring nature despite the barbaric nature of being a Saiyan. That's why she looked after Kale, and that's the beauty of it to me. Same way Goku looks after Broly right now, despite the fact that Broly is kind of apprehensive towards Goku. It's beautiful, right? But Caulifla ruined everything. I don't like Caulifla for like the sole reason that she is what I associate S cells with. She's disgusting to me. She's the reason we have an explanation of the magic of Super Saiyan, and it pisses me off.
That is fair, honestly.
Interesting.
That's where I'm at. This is how I feel.
That's okay. So I mean, I get it. I get it to a degree. I think the tingly feeling because the allure of Super Saiyan is rage, and it turns Super Saiyan. Because even with Vegeta, he didn't really explain it that well. He was just like, I just trained and I crashed out and I became a Super Saiyan. Gohan, I crashed out, I became a Super Saiyan. What? So we kind of always, would you not argue we kind of always knew how they became Super Saiyans?
Yeah, it's emotional same way the Sharingan worked. It's just emotional stimuli. Like it's basically the Sharingan. Like the Sharingan is basically Super Saiyan. Like I went through trauma. You got PTSD, brother. You got a power up. That's what you got an SSRI. You getting a debuff. That's really what it is. Like it's just you take a Abilify. You ain't getting a Sharingan. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's really what's about to happen. I don't know what to tell you, but it's just, and I get so heated about this because, okay, so let's talk about fans for a moment, right? We're all fans, I imagine. Yes. I think fans a lot of the time frequently demand the safest possible version of whatever made them happy when they were like 12. Give Goku another transformation. Make Vegeta win. Bring this dead character back. Give Luffy this fight. Make Zoro stronger. Explain this mystery already. I don't even know how devil fruits really work. Fan service is like a creative prison for a lot of people. If a franchise becomes completely audience driven, eventually storytelling, it's like a restaurant where everybody keeps ordering chicken tenders. That's what I keep getting with Dragon Ball. That's what I keep seeing over and over again. I think the future needs some middle ground between worshiping the original author and completely ignoring them, because I think the creator's original vision should matter enormously, but somebody like that matters, but I think they should understand what adventure means to One Piece, right? Because we have so many off-screen fights because Oda can't draw them. Imagine there's another mangaka like Boichi or something, right? Or Itagaki, or just some upstart that wants to get into Shueisha or wants to get into publication, and they say, okay, you don't have an original manga, but your art is amazing. Could you make a story for Vegeta fighting Yamcha? Or just crazy like that. Like Vegeta training Yamcha, it's like, I'm about to beat up my wife's ex, which would be awesome. That'd be fun. Or something like where Luffy he gets trapped somewhere and Luffy has to think for once and he has to do a puzzle. And you're like, oh, Luffy can't do puzzles, but the puzzle is rubber based. And he's like, oh, I'm rubber. Hold up. And he relies on his imagination. And that would be a great little spinoff on the side. That'd be amazing. It'd be like a 5-issue thing and people would love it. I remember when the guy who made Shogeki no Soma, he made the Sanji spinoff. Everybody loved that. That was awesome. The Sanji spinoff was great. We need more like that. There's teases of it, little teases of it with different authors and stuff like that. But we can do that. We're allowed. I think that's fair.
I think One Piece and Dragon Ball both have like infinite side story potential. This might be a hot take. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think Boruto is trash. I think it really shouldn't exist. But I think that
I agree.
But I think Dragon Ball could do the Boruto thing without being trash. It's like one of the only series that can do that. Like if you just made a whole story about Goten, I'll probably read it.
I see you're a big Goten stan, but you know what's crazy?
Yeah,
what's insane is that you know what did really successful and it really confused me?
What's that?
Goku Jr. versus Vegeta Jr. Have you seen that?
That was, yeah.
I was confused.
Wasn't that in GT? Wasn't that in GT?
I think it was GT, but people love that. People love that. I was like, you love this? They're like, yeah, this is cool as hell. It's Goku and Vegeta. And we never seen Kid Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I guess. I suppose so. They love that. And then Old Pan, people were like, this is amazing. This is the best they ever seen in my life. It was crazy. It's nuts.
I actually remember that too, and it's very vivid in my memory of like Goku Jr. versus Vegeta Jr.
World
I thought that was really cool.
That's cool.
I really thought we were gonna do that.
I wouldn't mind a side story of that. That would be cool too, honestly. It's like 100 years in the future or something, right?
Yeah, it's 100 years in the future, and I
Pan is an old.
Pan's
an old lady. I'm pretty sure
she's really old. Yeah, I think right because at this point, right. What was I watching? I was watching the Avatar: Last Airbender season 2, right? And by the way, I think the live action is worthless. I just want to get my opinion out there if anybody's curious.
I've been trying to tell people that.
I can't watch it.
It's so good. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not. Stop it.
I can't watch it personally.
Yeah. So here goes the fun thing, right? I hate it, but I respect it. Same way I respect the Cowboy Bebop live action. I think, and this is gonna sound insane to say, I think the Cowboy Bebop live action is goddamn phenomenal. I genuinely mean that with my whole chest. I think it is insanely good. I think the issue with it is that people were expecting not anime. I think it is so not even faithful. I think it's a good adaptation and interpretation of the characters. I think it's good. I think if we accepted more of that, just in general, we could expand our understanding of instead of one specific continuity. Because I think I think the power scaling community is a big issue when it comes to continuities because of them wanting one continuous interpretation as opposed to these composite versions. Because I hate to admit this, I keep up with the Dragon Ball Heroes anime, the 5-minute episodes, a lot. I really like it. Like I really like it.
I've never seen Dragon Ball Heroes, but I hear they have like this extremely crazy Goku in there.
Oh my god! I think it's like a Goku that it's like Limit Breaker God Ultra Goku or something, and it's like Golden. He fights against Golden Frieza and Golden Cooler, and then he's fighting against it's like Mecha Golden Cooler, and then Super Saiyan 4 Broly and Cumber, who's stronger than Super Saiyan 4 Broly. It's like it's dumb. It's just a color show.
You said it's dumb.
It's so brain dead. But you know what I want? I want all those characters in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I want all those characters in Xenoverse 3. That's what I want. I want that. And to that same effect, we have not had a single good. Let me phrase that better. We had 3 good One Piece games. 3. And only 3.
I have no idea
Three?
how they haven't had a good One Piece game yet. Like I don't understand how they haven't done just a great RPG One Piece. Like it seems like that's the best universe for that.
Because the idea, I feel like they're obsessed with the idea of trying not to like copy anything and try to make their unique version, or they just do this disgusting Dynasty Warriors because they're just so obsessed with doing this Dynasty Warriors hack and slash. I'm sorry, this is my hot take. Vile. I hate it. I hate Dynasty Warriors hack and slash gameplay. I can't do it. My sister loves it. I can't do it. I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
Now I gotta know how
Now,
you feel
mind
about-
you-
Go ahead. Mind you.
Now, mind you, I'm a hypocrite because I love God of War, and God of War has a little bit of that.
Nah,
Just a little bit.
It's not the same. It's not the same at all.
It's not the same though, because at the same time, it's like I like my cutscenes. Do you know what I'm saying? I like interactive fights. I don't like just a bunch of fodder chasing me around while I'm trying to fight a boss. Like, I'm gonna fight the boss. Let me fight the boss.
How do you feel about Dynasty Warriors Gundam?
I didn't even know they had a Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
I didn't know that either.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
didn't
feel
know
like
that.
I'm the big. I must be the biggest Muso fan on earth. I think I'm the biggest Muso fan on earth. I think I'm top
I've
one.
never heard of it.
I'm top 1 Muso fan, dude. I'm like top 1. I have every Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors. I have all of them. I'm the biggest fan of Muso games on earth. Oh, it's so sad. I love Fire Warriors. I still they have DLC coming out like in 3 months. I'm hype about it. I'm overhype. I love it.
Have you guys heard like I think there's like an actual Roblox game that's like
Blox
an
Fruits is pretty
RPG
good.
One Piece.
Yeah, Block Fruits
Yeah,
is
yeah.
pretty good. I play that every day, actually.
I'm just wondering why like they don't make one of those, because I heard it had like 2 million active players at one point, and I'm like, okay, well, there's clearly a market for it.
You have to understand, right? If you make a One Piece game, what do they want? Jay, you make a One Piece game, what they gotta have in it?
Simple. Customizable pirates. Like your
Mhm.
customizable character.
That'd
and
be
you
great.
build
That would be
your crew.
great.
You
That'd be
literally
great.
build your crew, and then you go through the entire story of One Piece with your own unique characters.
That'd be
That's
insane.
what I want. RPG, and keep it simple. No Dynasty Warriors. Just keep it simple. You already know what the characters are. You already know what their powers are. You don't need to invent the wheel. Give us something original to do.
Would
Don't
you
give me some random Mickey video, like there's some like because it's like Xenoverse, right? And you got there's this Time Lord and he's messing up the timeline. They've done that with One Piece. I'm like, bro, no, just give me an original story. Ninja Storm is probably the best anime game ever. Naruto Ninja Storm.
You know what's crazy?
I think that and Fighter Z.
I high key agree with you. Well, Fighter Z, this is gonna sound crazy. Fighter Z is a fighting game. Anime games.
Yes, I'm talking about like story games. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I agree then. I agree.
The cutscenes in Storm 2. Oh, my soul.
So good.
Soul.
I still remember them, bro. I still remember the Killer Bee rap. Ho, hey, ho. And I'm still doing it. I'm still doing the dance and the little shimmy. Like, it's still in my head because I remember I grew up on that, right? To me, that's like genuine. Like, Bandai Namco, they knocked it out of the park with Ninja Storm. It's probably why Naruto still so prevalent, right? And then if you look at the anime games, right, obviously you can throw it like Tenkaichi and the Budokais and all of that stuff, right? But like how One Piece has, with something like One Piece having the massive IP that it has, it is a genuine utter disaster that they have not got one game on the map. I think it's an actual cataclysmic failure of the industry that there has not been one Piece game outside of Burning Red, which just has its, because it was a One Piece fighting game, and so people were able to beg for it at least a little bit, right? But like Bleach is another one. How hard is it to make a good Bleach game? That is shocking to me. It is just niggas with swords. Just have them fight.
you see, I see you fail to understand the biggest issue when it comes to making a One Piece game. It has to have Luffy in it. You see, you see, you're not understanding. See, this is the issue, right? With other anime games, because there's barely been any successful anime games. People are buying the anime game because their favorite characters are in the game, right? So with Naruto, you got ninja wizards going crazy in a fighting game. There's a lot of characters you can do that. And because not everybody wants to copy Storm, they can do that. Hell, I'd even argue that Hinokami Chronicles is amazing. Here goes the issue with all anime games. They're so obsessed with having the character. They want their cake and they want to eat it too. Echoes of Ironclad. Kirito's in there. Brother, it's an MMORPG. You didn't have to put Kirito in this goddamn game. I'm happy I can create my own character. And it's an MMORPG that doesn't have any multiplayer. Insane move, right? I think of, oh my God, Grand Blue Fantasy Ragnarok, the Reeling game. That game is insane. That game's like my Monster Hunter right now. That's a good game. Games like Monster Hunter and Grand Blue Fantasy Reeling games of that variety, they have this beauty of not being tied to a character. If you can just make a game in the universe, that will be good. Xenoverse is probably one of the few games that gets away with it really good. But if you could just give me like a One Piece game, like One Piece Infinite Odyssey, right? That'd be a good game. Like, this is a concept, right? One Piece Infinite Odyssey, right? You start off, you choose your sea, East Blue, West Blue, North Blue. Is that right? And you are a pirate going out to adventure, right? And if you start at the East Blue, you get a little bit of a bonus. Start at the West Blue, stuff like that. You start at the South Blue, maybe you get a comic book that gives you the ability to do emotes that a lot, like Germa, Vinsmoke emotes that allow you to do that. It could be a lot of potential because the world's huge, right? Then you go on your adventure, go on your crew, and you discover all those side islands that this particular island is like particular island stuff like that. There's so much potential for it, but they're too obsessed with having Luffy. They're too obsessed with having the character. And when anime games, and this is why it's so important to have this conversation, we need these games to grow out of the author and the characters. Because if we can make original characters like DC and Marvel universes, right? They just continue to make original characters. You ever play DC Universe Online?
No, I haven't played it.
It is phenomenal. Love the game, right? I still play it. DC Universe Online is super fun. You make your own character, give him his own powers, and there are characters you can speak to, but nobody cares about Superman in that game. Brother, I'm just fighting in that game. I'm just scrapping. I'm fighting mobs and having the time of my life. It's really fun. This was the same thing I did with Fusion Fall. Fusion Fall was a Cartoon Network original game where you could have, it was the universe of Cartoon Network. Continuity didn't matter. It was really cool. They need that. They need a Cartoon Network, a Nickelodeon, a Disney universe overall with anime and manga. Because, like mascots, and when I was talking about like serial mascots, because they've done that with all this stuff, we need to Americanize, sadly, some manga so we can have an anime extended universe to create original characters. We need that.
You know, unironically, it's funny. I think they should do that. I think One Piece is the one series they probably really could do that with, especially if they just like look what's going on with Game of Thrones, for example, right? All the prequels. I do think Oda's built enough history in One Piece that people would be okay with a prequel. But I also don't think so because Luffy wouldn't be in it. So that's also what I'm.
Mm, good point.
Have
Well,
you
Yeah.
have you no- have you noticed
mm,
most of the time, and this is it's not even a hot take. Most of the time when the Straw Hats are not in the story, Oda ends up just writing his writing style improves drastically when the Straw Hats are not in the story for whatever reason outside of the Wano flashback, but that's a whole another story. But like, look at what we had in Elbaf so far, right?
yeah.
Loki, Rox, Roger, Rayleigh. I am not gonna lie to you. If you wanted to do a spin-off just of that time period, I think a lot of people would read it and watch it.
Oh, for
I
sure.
think so.
For sure. I mean, a young Garp would just take the place of Luffy.
Well,
Like I could
Probably.
I could
even
very easily read that. Yeah.
even then, right? Even then, and I will say this. Picture this, right? I have 4 YouTube channels, right? I want to point this out 4. Now, the reason I have 4 is because right now I'm obsessed with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and playing video games. A new update for a game called Lort came out, and I'm making a video about that immediately after this live stream. I love video games a lot. Now, am I good at them? Hell no. I'm actually trash at like 90% of the games that I play. But I was top 10 in Sparking Zero for a matter of 3 days. That's all I care about. So I'm holding on to that title forever. I also ruined the entire online community by making that Giants video, and I hold that title to the day I die. Love that for me. But this is important. I love making videos on my side channels more than my main. Because my main is a little bit formulaic right now. I have to do these edits, and I've improved my video quality drastically. On my Just Seros channel, brother, I'm sitting down and no script, nothing. I never do a script, but it's like really no script over there. I'm saying garbage. I'm stuttering, just nothing. Just no music, nothing. And people love it. It's so heart to heart. It's heartfelt. And it feels better because I don't have to do anything. Make picture this, Jay. Imagine a video, like a live stream, where you don't have to chop up the live stream and you get 20,000 views. And that's
You said
basically
imagine. Repeat that again. You said imagine I'm making a video.
imagine making a video.
I'm making a
right?
live stream and I don't have to chop it up and I get 20K.
20K.
20K views.
20K views. And then after that, you make another video and get 500K. And it's just you talking about nothing. Wouldn't that feel good?
Yeah, it'd feel great.
And that's what Oda's going through. Oda's like, man, I really want to. You know what's crazy? Let me draw a fucking hero look. Let's draw a young hero look. When I saw Young Clover, I knew Oda was in his bag. He drew Young Clover. You look at him muscles. Like, goddamn, hold on, this Clover.
It was great to see Young Clover. It was really good.
Seeing Nolan with them scar. Every time Oda does a flashback, he's like, let me tell you what I really want to talk about.
One thing I will, Oda has done a lot of great writing, even with the Straw Hats themselves. Like, for example, I think like Impel Down, Marineford, and Amazon Lily, that was all just Luffy. Like none of the other Straw Hats were there. It was just Luffy, and I like those the most out of pre-time skip. I thought that was all really good.
Nice.
And I also think the dynamic story and like him as a character, all his trauma is also pretty well written. And then the stuff with Brooke is actually really good too. So I do think the Straw Hats get like some good writing, honestly. But I do understand what you're saying, Jay. Like when the Straw Hats aren't there, Oda like does crazy stuff.
Because
Like
he's
really
willing to
good.
be more adventurous, right? Because I think with the Straw Hats, Oda is like he does this thing where I think because he likes them as they are, he doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily go to great lengths to add anything to them or to at least add more color to them. Right. And
That's
I
a
think
fact. That's
as
a
a
fact.
reader, if you've been reading One Piece for so long, and this actually goes into the conversation we're having, right? Where like a lot of these different comic book artists and writers will add different colors to Spider-Man, where there is a dark Spider-Man. Like if you look at like Absolute Batman, right? You're looking at all the Absolute series right now. Great
Peak.
stuff going out, coming in DC. It is great.
That is
And
great.
I haven't
Yeah.
even read it, and I only hear good things about what I'm hearing. Like the new take on Joker, Absolute Batman's really good. Apparently, Absolute Green Arrow's really good, right? Wonder Woman. So like, I'm imagining the problem with One Piece and the problem with the Straw Hats a lot of the time is because they're getting newer people reading the series. Obviously, with Wano and the anime catching up and the live action, there's a lot of new people coming. So the people that catch up to One Piece in like 3-4 years, right? They're happy with how they are. For the people that have been reading One Piece for 20 years, they're like, I've seen this before. And it's like,
Mhm.
it's the same thing. And as the story's progressing, it's almost as if we're waiting for more answers to come in, but there's nothing in the immediate present that's hooking us outside of what are we going to get next? Because, like you were saying, I don't think I've ever been in a position where I didn't really know what was going to happen next. That's mainly just because most of the time we've seen Luffy get out of every tight situation he's been in so often that we as a reader are already expecting it to happen somehow, some way. This time, we don't really know. We can guess, but we're like, this looks pretty bad. Like when he lost to Kaido, he kind of got blitzed and it was over. When he lost to Crocodile, we're like, well, he's got to find a way to hit the devil fruit, and he got stabbed in the chest. I'm like, all right, well, he got stabbed in the chest. Dofi, he didn't really lose to Dofi. Dofi was kind of, he just knocked him away a little bit. It wasn't anything serious, and then he went
Hmm.
gear 4. Katakuri was interesting because you're like, how is he gonna get past
Nah,
Future Sight? I think that was the last
he
time.
lost against Katakuri. I'm holding that
I
to
mean,
day I
I
die.
mean, most people agree with that. He just started seeing the future kind of, and then Katakuri just kind of just let him win. I don't know. That's just a weird. That's a
Bunch of
controversial take.
garbage.
But my point is that we're never going to be able to experience One Piece in a different way until they're brave enough to actually be different with One Piece. But it's been so successful for so long. It's like, okay, why don't change what's not broken?
You know what
Mhm.
go ahead, as you were saying, Lilu.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, Jay, you made a lot of really good points. I'll preface this by saying I'm objectively a One Piece glazer. Um, but I agree with what you're saying. Like the Straw Hats don't really change too much. But I will say they do have like some subtle character development. It's just not
Like
as
Sanji
it's
does
really
for sure.
Sanji for sure. Even with Robin, you see her going from just calling the Straw Hats their title to calling them their actual name
Well, I
after Ennia's Lobby.
so
Luffy becomes more of a leader. Like all
I
of them have
think
like subtle development,
I
but
think I
it's
think
not as much as I'd like. I can
I think there's a
agree.
difference between the core philosophy of a character not changing and character development. Because the core philosophy of every Straw Hat has not changed at all. Because Oda is
Mhm.
obsessed with the aspect of dreams. So because their dreams are not changing, their core philosophies aren't changing. Like Luffy's wildly impulsive, Usopp's a coward. He's never gonna change that. He's always gonna be cowardly. Nami's a thief. Sanji is the freak. It's just like that's their character. Like he's chivalrous essentially, but Zoro's a wandering
Yeah.
Ronin. Like that's their core philosophy. And in terms of that, there is no development in that aspect at all because that's their character quirk. Every character in One Piece has a quirk that never changes. Kaido's a drunk. Big Mom's a worthless piece of garbage, a hag. It just doesn't change. I don't know.
Worthless.
I
Big
don't know.
Mom's always worthless. It's
Verly's
crazy.
always worthless. It's just she doesn't change. She doesn't change. And then this is a beautiful moment to talk about how Jay turned into the ether because he stood up and turned into Bodega immediately. And we have this beautiful freeze frame of Jay stuck in the null zone of Superman, and that's beautiful. He's just stuck. Look at that.
How am I stuck? I'm still here, right? Y'all can
You're
y'all can
still
see
here.
me.
I
I'm
can
moving.
see. Okay, now you're moving. Okay, that's good. That's good. You were stuck in
Yeah.
this pseudo and you were hyperimposed upon the screen. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, I see it now. That's actually kind of funny.
That's
Okay, yeah, I was
But what I find beautiful is I think you know what my favorite Marvel story of all time is? It's Deadpool kills the Marvel universe.
Oh, I've heard about that. I've never seen that, but I've heard about that. He kills
is
like
I
everybody.
heard that is.
it's dumb. It's really dumb. I mean, there's all like Wolverine kills the Punisher kills the Marvel universe. It's a lot of things like that. But it's a willingness to kill the characters knowing that they're not gonna die. Right? Oda with mangaka. Like, there's this Toriko chapter, and I'll never forget it. I never forget this chapter. Toriko gets sneezed on by Heracles, the horse, and
Oh, I love that chapter, bro. That's
Speak.
crazy. I love
Speak.
that.
he
Speak.
gets sneezed
Speak.
on, and I'm like, oh, he's
I did
dead.
too.
And then my goat said, "Welcome to a break," and I was like, oh, is this it? Because I didn't know I didn't know what a break was, so I was like, oh, wait a second, is a brother just dead? Next, and then after 2 weeks, they were like, hey, Toriko's back. I'm like, oh, how? Blue Devil comes out. I'm like, oh, okay, he regenerated. I was like, okay, all right, it's a scale. I was out, my heart sank. I was like, oh no, Toriko's over. I was depressed. But that moments like those always get me excited. And imagine this, right? Imagine you're reading a Dragon Ball story, right? And then, it's like a side story. And then Tien gets his head chopped off. And you're like, he's going to come back. He got Dragon Balls. But then, like, the villain cracks one of the Dragon Balls. And you're like, huh? And then the story ends. And then they reveal the title drop. And it's like, Tien dies and doesn't come back. Like, what is that? That's crazy. That'd be insane. It would be insane. But I think we can take risk like that. I think we could take risk like that. And that'd be awesome. I think that would just be awesome.
I think so too. I want us to take risks like that. I'd prefer that we do. Is that gonna happen?
Like a straw hat dying, like something like that. Like a straw hat.
Well, not a straw hat dying. Let me phrase it better, right? I think the greatest victory for an author might be, this is gonna sound crazy, might be losing complete ownership of the character in the imagination of humanity. Like, you create Goku, and eventually Goku becomes everybody's childhood hero. You create Luffy, and eventually millions of people have their own understanding of what Luffy represents. The character escapes you. The audience carries them somewhere you cannot control. And I think that can be very horrifying and beautiful, even a little bit exploitative, but genuinely artistic all simultaneously. I think they become bigger than anime franchises. And when we get to the point of modern mythology, like, think of the different interpretations of Hercules or Odysseus or Beowulf or something of that variety. It's that point where I need to get to with a lot of manga and stories, because we don't have a single manga like that. We can you had to complain about Luffy, where you said Luffy is not a character, he's an idea, right? Where you said, Jay, that he was not you would hate Luffy in real life because he is a set of ideals. I'm serious, you would.
In real life.
He would be annoying as shit. If I could be so bold to
would be, I'm
say,
not gonna lie.
it'd be annoying. Imagine you had a friend that was yelling all the time and eating all your food and like being like, we gotta go save Nicaragua. Like, shut up, nigga. I don't want to do this.
We gotta go save Nicaragua. I'm so tired, dog.
I'm just saying, man. It's not a thing you do. It's not somebody you think. But if he's an idea, if he's a set in ideals that you can freely interpret to different things, like Batman. Objectively, Batman's a billionaire, right? Like, I can't relate to Batman. I can't relate to a billionaire. Or it's the same reason why people like the Joker. Nobody really wants to relate to the Joker, right?
No.
Nobody wants to, but
You really should not. No, you really should.
but they respect the insanity of the Joker. They say, oh, because if you really pin Joker to the dish, what is the Joker? Just some guy. He's not strong. He doesn't know the Tibet monks' years of martial arts. How is he going against Batman and fighting against him when Batman has mastered every form of armed combat and does steroids? The Joker is a lanky Hot Topic manager. How is he even considered a threat? Because he's a set of ideals. He's a dude. He's a dude.
He is a dude. I mean, it's just funny to think about, because it really is just like, how is he actually competing with these guys? And he's just, hey, man, he's just out here.
He's just a guy. He's just a guy. Somebody said Devilman, Astro Boy, and Doraemon. I'll give you that. Yeah, there's a lot of interpretation of stuff like that. But they're not like, because if I say Astro Boy, someone's like, I think I watched Down to Yami. If I say Spider-Man, they'll say that's top one. If I say Devilman, nobody's gonna know Devilman besides the Netflix series. And if I say Doraemon, no, I can name 10 people I know who know Doraemon. I can name 10. I can name 10 people. Like, who really knows Doraemon? Like, come on now.
No, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, like, it's a big ass blue cat. Like, no one cares about this dude.
He's a big ass blue cat.
No one cares. Like, it's stupid. Go ahead. You were saying, Leela? Go ahead. Did he turned to cosmic dust?
Yeah, he said, I think that was his final word.
I
I
don't.
think Thanos just
Oh,
snapped.
oh, you
He's
got,
back.
you got it,
There
you
he
got it.
is.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Did you guys hear any of that, or was I just frozen?
No, I didn't.
No,
I
you
Oh,
just said
oh,
and then you
oh,
teleported. So go ahead.
oh.
Go
I,
ahead. Go ahead.
I see. Oh, okay. I was saying I was interested to hear what your guys' perspective is on comparing pre-time skip One Piece to post-time skip, because I actually think they're pretty relative. I think they're both like very good. But
Mm,
as I was saying earlier, I am a One Piece glazer, but I do think that pretty much any complaint we have with modern One Piece would also just be said about pre-time skip in the current day if it came out right now.
I
I
disagree. I
I would as well, but I want to hear what you go ahead because you started your fault
it's
first.
okay. I wildly disagree, simply by virtue of I'll phrase it like this, right? I'm gonna use my area of expertise, which is politics, ever so slightly. I have a lot of complaints with the No Kings protest. Reason being is because it's too broad, right? There's a lot of different moving ideas that No Kings protest. Now, what's stronger? Attack that could destroy the universe, or a universe destroying punch that hits one person. I think the universe destroying punch that hits one person is infinitely more dangerous than the attack that could destroy the entire universe. Because if you destroy the entire universe, too broad. But if somebody can survive that universe destroying attack, you'd want to attack their left arm first, so their whole body can't take it. Then their right arm, their left arm, left leg, and right leg, going down the body to destroy it. If you centralize your movement, it is stronger and more cohesive. That's the Rosa Parks logic. Montgomery Bus boycott. That's the Rosa Parks logic. You centralize your movement, you focus on one issue, have everybody focus on one issue, then move to the next. You need to focus on one centralized issue. So with One Piece pre-time skip, we didn't know how big the world was. We had a vague concept, but we were only focused on East Blue. We had a more cohesive narrative than what we have right now because it wasn't as big. Right now, I can name 20 things I want to know more about than what's going on in Elbath. I promise you I could. What's going on with Blackbeard? What's going on with Garp? What is happening with Mihawk? Is he still fighting the Marines? I really want to see how Kobe feels about that. Is he planning to go after Garp right now? I am so infinitely curious how Wano was faring right now. There's too many moving pieces. When One Piece first started, all I cared about was this Trojan rubber man. This condom is about to go find the One Piece, and I don't even know what that is. I don't even know who the characters are. Then I saw black people in the story, the fishmen, and I was like, what about their history? It's better narratively to condense your story into certain things. It's why I praise JoJo Part 4, because it's not a universe destroying threat. It's some nigga obsessed with hands. And I'm like, this is great. This is the best villain of all time. Oh my god, his monologue is ingrained inside of my soul. I think that's better. One Piece is sadly too big for me to give that much of a damn about it at the current moment. I like it. It's great. I'm going to keep up with it. But it's too big for me to care about Luffy. I want to know about Joy Boy right now. I don't care about Luffy. Where's Joy Boy?
Bro,
Yeah.
honestly, that's a really good point. The One Piece lore is actually so immense that there's single pages in One Piece with more lore than entire other series. I would argue that the mural alone has more lore than all of Jujutsu Kaisen.
I'll tell you
That
that
one page.
you're not incorrect about that, because I don't know who the 8 heavenly generals are at all. Well, Sukuna beat the 8 heavenly generals of the Fujiwara clan. Shut up. I don't know Japanese words.
Yeah, I mean, like as I was saying, I am a One Piece glazer, but I do look at the post time skip as immensely impressive. Like the amount of lore that's packed into it is actually phenomenal. I'd argue some of the arcs in post time skip are the best arcs in the series. Um, it's just, and it's like every time I go back and reread arcs in the post time skip, I'm noticing more and more stuff that makes me appreciate the story more. Like how if you go back to Punk Hazard, they just have these like frozen giants. You don't know what they are at all, and now they're being mentioned in the God Valley flashback. They're like referenced there. There's just so much stuff. It's insane. I just think it's incredible, honestly.
Jay, you were saying, how do you feel about post and pre-time skip?
Oh, sorry if I cut you
I
guys
think
off.
No, it's
I
okay.
wasn't
You're
sure.
okay. You're okay. We're
no,
having a
you
conversation.
didn't cut anybody off. I would
Okay.
say for me, post So this is interesting. I've heard this a lot, and I think it does vary, right? So when did you start One Piece, Leelos? When did you start?
Um, like 23 years ago.
23 years ago. Okay, so
Yeah,
you've been
roughly.
here forever. So okay,
Yeah,
so this is good. So
yeah.
I think it varies on what you fell in love with One Piece for.
Mhm.
And I've noticed this a lot. If you are in love with One Piece lore, right?
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
you're going to love post time skip because post time skip just delves into the lore and the overall world a lot more. While I feel like pre time skip, it feels like everything else is such a mystery. So you're so focused on everything that the crew is doing. And you're so focused on every little character that's coming up because you're like, okay, what am I going to experience with these characters today? When you're in post time skip, it feels like you're saying, how does this character and how does this art contribute to the greater narrative of the world of One Piece? So, like, I think for me, and Sarah said he'll BRB. For me,
Mhm.
one of the things that I find that I really loved about One Piece, and I'm a very character oriented guy. For any story that I
Mhm.
read in general, I am character oriented. I'm talking about character arcs, progression. I want to connect with the character. I want to feel their emotions. I want to feel what they're thinking. I want to understand why they think the way they think. So if you look at how pre-time skip is done, because Oda's still building the crew and he's still introducing us to new characters, it's almost as if in pre-time skip you're seeing, okay, for example, like Sanji, right? Sanji was always chivalrous, right? We saw that, but then you see Sanji in this lobby and you're realizing how far he's going to take that chivalry
Right,
to the
right.
degree that he took it that far. And then you see a moment between him and Nami, and it's almost as if he's like, you know, your chivalry is really dumb, but it's not a bad thing, and I respect you for it. So I'm going to take care of this for you. And in the moment, like it's a really sweet moment. And then there's Sanji and Zoro. Nothing happened, right? I'm
Mhm.
highlighting all these moments. Even if you add in Vivi, for example, another amazing character. I think Vivi's one of the most underrated characters we've ever had because it's been so long. We forget how good Vivi really was. Vivi was probably still to this day the best additional character we've gotten. I would argue you could throw Kuma in there if you'd like. Vivi's still up there, right? She's considered a straw hat. I think once you get into post time skip, I think the characters are so set in stone that there's not much to learn more about them besides repeating the same issues, except for the second backstory that you get with Sanji. Because we didn't expect the second backstory to come in with Sanji. I think Sanji is more of an exception rather than a commonality within post time skip. Because like for example, Robin calling people by calling like Robin has the subtle changes where she's getting more comfortable with people based off time and proximity. That's perfectly fine. But I really don't feel any growth or development from any of the characters that I find meaningful. Even with the
Mhm.
Sanji story is interesting because there is this idea that Sanji doesn't like to ask for help. And I just don't know where that comes from because Sanji clearly asked for help in Ennis Lobby. He asked Usopp for help. If anything, one of the best things that Sanji did is Sanji was like the organizer. When Luffy wasn't there or Nami wasn't there, Sanji was the guy who was kind of making plans in the first place.
Eh,
So the idea of Sanji having an insecurity about asking for help, I don't really believe that because
I feel like
it's something that
that's a misinterpretation of what happened in the whole Cake Island. Yeah, I did like a 4-hour analysis of this specific part because
yes, and
it's just very specific because it's not rejecting an ask for help. It's that it's his own family that he has not dealt with.
e- exactly.
Yeah, that's a bigger thing. I think a lot of One Piece fans are like, well, Sanji's asked for help before, yes, from his friends, and he cares about that. But it's his family. He has to deal with himself. He feels like this is a moment where he has to deal with
So
himself.
So I agree, but then you know what they go and say? They go ahead and say that because Sanji asking Robin for help is like character development for Sanji. Because he didn't ask for help in Whole Cake Island, but now he's asking Robin for help. And I'm like that,
Mhm.
but do you see my point?
Yeah, I see your
Like
point.
that's not
That's not character development.
that's the point I'm trying to make here.
One
Like you
Piece
can't
characters
conflate those two.
One Piece characters don't develop, and that's the biggest complaint I have, and that's what
And
makes them perfect for different interpretations of the story.
and that's why I was gonna say, since I'm so character focused, I think like if you're talking about like the same like people not dying, that's always been in One Piece, that's perfectly fine. But if you're talking about like specific character moments, I have had infinitely more enjoyable emotional character moments pre-time skip because of the nature of the story, and it's because it's focused on the Straw Hats and the Straw Hats traveling rather than post time skip where it's more about the Straw Hats experiencing the greater narrative itself, the One Piece, road poneglyphs, right? The world government, right? We're starting to delve
Mhm.
into like much greater lore. So there's like so many. Unironically, there's so many more characters post time skip than there are pre time skip. So like you're expanding the world expeditiously now, right? So I do think there is a clear difference because I think there's a difference in focus. I do think there's a difference
Mhm.
in
Yeah,
focus,
true.
and I think
I agree. Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
and it depends on what you like from the story and what you love from One Piece. And I think because One Piece is such a big series, so many different people like different things from One Piece. And if you're not a
Mhm.
lore merchant, I feel like you're just gonna prefer pre-time skip over post-time skip. And I use merchant very loosely. I'm not using it as an
No, I
insult at all.
no, I am
I'm a
I am a
character
lore
merchant.
merchant, honestly. I really am.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
fair assessment,
I'm using it
to
as an
be
insult.
honest.
I don't know what you guys.
No.
No, but Jay, you made really good points. Because if I'm understanding you right, it's like the character interactions were more in pre-time skip, and you kind of miss that, right? Because I've heard other
It just
people
felt
say
more
that.
meaningful.
I
Yeah.
can
Go
understand.
ahead.
I've heard other people say that like they miss the slice of life moments that pre-time skip had. Um, but I do question how much people really mean that, because in slice of life moments, 10 chapters of it, people didn't really like that. But that point aside, one thing I will say is that we do actually see the Straw Hats get some very subtle character development. It's not on like Vinland Saga levels, but in post time skip, we see Luffy, like when he meets Otama, Otama's crying about Ace being dead, and Luffy's like, no, he's dead. It is what it is.
Well,
And that's a huge
oh,
difference from pre-time skip Luffy.
okay, I think that's a horrible example. That is like the worst example of character development, and I think that's a horrible. I'm sorry. I think that's the worst example ever. Okay, because that was a part of his training and growth to get past Ace's death, right? Like, and that's obviously character development, but that's not like core character development. Like if the brother just died right in front of your face, you obviously gotta move past that. Like you gotta
Right,
move
right.
past. That's like you gotta move past that. That's like Goku not getting past Grandpa Gohan's death. Like remember when Goku was getting squeezed by Vegeta and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm the thing that killed my granddad." And he had to accept it in real time. Like, damn, I really murdered my grandfather. I killed Grandpa Gohan. I killed my caretaker. That was like That's like immediate character development. Like getting past grief is like I think bare minimum like booty ball baby level like character development. That's what
Yeah,
I
it is.
feel.
There isn't it is pretty subtle, but I would argue for every Straw Hat you could find at least some. Like, for example, let me see.
Go ahead and find one for Zoro right quick. Take your time.
Oh, actually, no, Zoro might actually have none. If I'm being honest, Zoro might have
I
none.
was hey.
Zoro might have nothing. I won't even lie.
I'll tell you all the character development Zoro gets. I hate pirates. I'm made of rubber. Okay, you pirates are pretty cool. That's
I'm an
it.
atheist.
That's it. That's it. I'm an atheist. That's. I think he's always been an atheist. I think that's.
Yes.
He's like Yahweh.
Something else I was thinking is there is a good scene with Nami and Jinbei in Fishman Island where Nami, she's stating that she's like forgiven all fishmen. Like it seems she's also forgiven Arlong too. And
That
his
was
like
a good moment in Fishman Island.
Yeah.
There's some
I
good
think
moments
that's
in
really
Fishman
good.
Island. I will say that.
That-
There's a
that's-
lot of good moments in Fishman Island.
I think that's
And all-
peak. That's peak character development for sure. I'll give you that.
I
yeah.
also think Luffy in general, his is underrated. I'm not gonna lie, his is underrated. Like if you pay attention to how he interacts with Momonosuke and Otama, there's a lot of like character development there. I think Luffy's character development, it's like more reflected from who he was as a kid to who he is now. But like him with Otama and Momo, that's like the first time you see him in like a big brother role. But the scene I wanted to focus on was at the end of Wano, Luffy makes a very mature captain decision where he says the people need to think Momo was the one who like saved them. That was really mature Luffy stuff that I don't think we would have seen pre-time skip.
No, we would have seen that pre-time skip for sure. Because he did
Really?
the same thing with
100%.
Vivi. He did that with Vivi. He did that with like Vivi. Vivi brought back the water essentially. Crocodile died, and Luffy. Everybody was like, "Oh, Luffy did it." He was like, "I'm not no hero, nigga." Anyways, I'm about to get some steak. Like he didn't really care.
I was gonna say because Luffy has always been adamant about not wanting to be the hero. Like that is like something that he's always had. And
That's
like
true. Yeah,
I think
and giving people their own
the-
autonomy back. That's a big thing with him
this
too.
and I
this one was a bit different though because his reasoning for it was, I'm not going to be here to protect them. They need to have faith in Momo, and that was like Luffy really thinking in a way that I don't. Can you guys think of an example where he did that exact thing pre-time? There might be. I'm just not thinking of it at the moment.
so I would say so let's clarify like
I don't know if I
character
cut out there.
development.
No, you good.
No, you didn't. Let's clarify character development versus character growth.
Okay,
Because I do
okay,
think
cool.
development really is just, you could say, adding color. I think it's like Luffy is red, right? And you're adding a little different shade of red in there, but it's still red. Do you know what I'm saying? That and you could call that character development. Like you're developing the canvas that's already been painted, and maybe you're adding a little bit of color in here. Character growth is like you're slowly changing the painting by adding something unique to it, something that you didn't know already. And I think with Luffy, I think with the Straw Hats, there's not much character growth with them. I really don't think there's much character growth at all in any of them. And I would say with Nami is one of the rare ones because I think Fisherman Island is absolutely what's the word I want to use? The stains on Fisherman Island are Vanderdecken, Sanji's nosebleeds, and Hody Jones. Even though Hody Jones served a great narrative weight, those are three huge stains, which is what makes Fisherman Island a 7 out of 10 for me. However, I also think Fisherman Island is one of the best written arcs solely because the moment with Jinbei and Nami is one of the best moments I've seen in the story, where
It's great.
Nami
It's really good.
overcomes her hatred for Fishman, even though she overcame it a while ago when she saw Hachi. So we already knew she kind of did that pre-time skip. She did that with Hachi. Jinbei just hadn't seen it yet. So when Jinbei saw it and he apologized for it, she was like, "Yeah, I've already forgiven you." Unironically, though, it's one of Sanji's worst moments ever because then he interrupts and tries to, do the thing with Jinbei. And I was like, Sanji, you're disgusting and I hate you. That's Sanji was. Sanji was bad at Fishman. Sanji was bad at Fishman.
I'll phrase it like this because One Piece has this huge issue, right? So, and for people in the audience that don't know, I'll phrase it in a very condensed way. This is basically where I had a conversation with my brother about this. Character development is basically anything that deepens, reveals, or changes our understanding of the character. That's development. We learn more about their personality, their beliefs, their fears, relationship, history, contradictions, motivations, worldview, development. Boom, got it. Character growth specifically means the character's personality or personally changes or matures, right, through their experience, usually like overcoming a flaw, more emotionally capable. I'll give you a fun example. Zuko on Avatar has both. We learn more and more about his childhood relationship with Ozai, shame, obsession with honor, compassion, internal conflict. That's development. When he eventually rejects his father's ideology and takes responsibility for his choices, that's character growth. You see what I mean?
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
And there's negative growth too. I think a good example is Walter White. That's negative growth in Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Deep negative growth. And if you want to like a very simple sentence, development, I understand this person better now. Growth, the person is different now. And One Piece has like near no character growth.
None of the Straw Hats have any character growth whatsoever. And that is not an insult. They develop because you learn a little bit more about them. But I even moving forward, because one thing, to give you credit, Lee, you're talking about little instances where their character is reinforced, right? Because a lot of the things that they're doing are not something you would not expect them not to do. Like Robin getting more comfortable with her crewmates, that's well within reason of understanding that. Luffy being blunt is something he's always done. He punched Vivi in the face. Like he punched Vivi in the face. Like he's always been that way. Yeah. Right? It's the same thing. And then even then, right? The Straw Hats have never taken credit for any island they freed. Ever. They just never have.
Mhm.
That's not a thing that they do. So
That's such a
even the
cool trait.
decision,
Yeah,
yes,
that's a
it's a
cool trait.
great trait, right? But it's also because Luffy just doesn't want to be a hero. He just doesn't care for it. Even with Dressrosa, he's like, bro, yeah, King Riku, y'all got it. Drum Island, Dalton, I ain't gonna be here. It's you and Koreha. You know, Alabasta, hey Vivi, have fun. We're leaving. They always leave before people can thank them anyway. It's the same thing that they do. So when I see Luffy and Momo, for example, I expect Luffy to make that decision because that's just within his character. What I like, and this is where pre-time skip is, there are some things that we didn't know were within somebody's character because they were still growing or being developed. And even then, still you would kind of expected it. I think Zoro's nothing happened. Would you call that character growth, Saros?
No, he's always
Him
been.
sacrificing himself for Luffy?
He's so stoic. He's just it's such a stoic ass moment. I wouldn't be
No, I mean him.
character
I mean him laying his life down, like
for Luffy.
sacrificing his dream to die for Luffy. Would you
No,
not call that character growth?
no, I wouldn't call it that because he's already dedicated himself after his loss. Like that's just what he's done. Like he has a fundamental. It's a fundamental understanding of Zoro that he is very honorable. He's a samurai. You give everything for your daimyo, right? Zoro is a
Yeah.
samurai. And when I saw that, I only thought of samurai pride and honor, like I give everything for my daimyo. Right? That's how I've always interpreted Zoro's character. Everything that I attribute samurai culture to, that is Zoro to me. Like everything, like just the honorable stuff, the training endlessly, the constantly improving oneself, the developing within saming or remain style, refining oneself. He's very Musashi Miyamoto in that variety, if I could be so bold today, because Musashi Miyamoto had the two sword style, and Zoro is a one up from Musashi Miyamoto, the peerless under the heavens, Mushoku Tensei that just like boom, I am the not Mushoku Tensei, it's Mugen Tensei or something like that. I am alone under the heavens. That's the one. So I've always interpreted Zoro as somebody that's like, hey. I consider this like sacrificing yourself for that, because Sanji did the same thing. I think anybody in the crew would do that for Luffy, right? I think that's a part of Luffy's crew's dynamic because they believe in Luffy. That's the power Luffy has over everybody. So that's more of a trait for Luffy of sacrifice, because anybody that knows Luffy that likes him would sacrifice himself for Luffy, right? Anybody that does that. And
one
not
thing
talking about it.
I'd like
Go ahead.
One thing I'd like to add, it does seem like they're actually going to add some character development with Sanji right now. He's like reflecting on his his pride in some way.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm not cutting out.
You're reflecting on his pride in some way. I got that. Go ahead.
Oh, you heard that? Okay. Yes, yeah. He's reflecting on his pride in some way, and that seems like it's going to lead to a new power up for him. So there's something cool there. I also wanted to mention one other thing you guys had said earlier was Sanji asking for help in Wano. You're saying that's not character development. I think the reason people say it's character development is because Sanji was asking I don't know if pre-time skip Sanji ever did that.
Asked a woman for help.
Oh man. Oh, did I cut out again?
It's okay. We hear a woman. Don't worry.
No. So
woman.
I
for
mean,
help.
I would argue.
Like,
and
did he do that pre-time skip too? That like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think he ever asked a woman to fight for him pre-time skip, did he?
So this is why This is why I crashed out on my stream when this was happening, when they said that, because tell me the difference between Black Maria and the Khalifa moment in Ennis Lobby. What's the difference?
Black Maria and Khalifa. Yeah, I guess he did let Nami fight her. Yeah, that's
He
true.
let Nami fight her face battle. Like it's and the only difference is he didn't scream help. That's the only difference. But the same thing happened. It's the same scenario. It's the same situation. I'm not gonna hit a woman, so I'm gonna let a woman beat me to sleep until a woman is gonna come and save me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, it's
yeah,
crazy.
I guess
And
it just
and
seems
you-
more like character development because Whole Cake just happened like not too long before that.
Yes,
So, but you do have a good point. It is pretty much the same thing. You have a good point there.
And I think, and here's the thing that I always emphasized, right? Because I see why it is a little different, because he called for help and Sanji let Nami help, right? Because Sanji was defeated. The difference is that I think people focus on it as a moment for Nami, for Sanji. I think it's a moment for Robin. I think that moment is specifically tailored for Robin, because now Robin gets to save the day. When has the Straw Hats ever asked Robin for help? When has she ever been put in the situation where she's the one
that is a
who
good
actually gets to be and contribute to the Straw Hats in a way where she's the hero? They saved
That's a
me,
great
so
point,
now
yeah.
I get to save you. So I hate it when people try to conflate that moment for Sanji, because I feel like they try to take whole cake and say this is a confounding on whole cake. And I'm like, no, that's not it. That's not a Sanji moment. We've already seen this moment before, right? So instead of being protected, Robin is now the protector. It's a beautiful moment for Robin. I love that moment for Robin. I loved it. I would argue
Yeah,
I got
I agree.
angry because we've put Sanji in the same situation where he's got to fight a woman again, and we know he's not going to hit her. So now we just have to watch Sanji get embarrassed and disrespected for hours until a woman comes to save him. And I'm
Mhm.
like, we've been here before. But the
You
only difference is we got good moments for Robin. I think it's more about Robin.
No, that's it. I had never really thought about that. That is a great Robin moment. He is constantly protected by them. I will also say Brooke, his best moments are all post time skip. Like
Oh
Brooke
yeah,
has had
well,
so many good moments.
man, our brother
And
has like no pre-time skip moments. I think immediately upon meeting Brooke, he got separated essentially. Wasn't like Thriller Bark and then
yeah, no, he was
Sabe.
there like one arc.
Yeah,
He was
he
there
did.
one arc.
He there's no like he has no moments
Yeah,
besides
he
like
had no
one
moments.
smooth Michael Jackson ass walkthrough. That's like all he's got.
Yeah, I would say Brooke, he's gotten a lot of great moments post time skip. And another moment I think that's slept on is Luffy's speech in Udon Prison. That's actually one of my favorite speeches in all of One Piece. It might be my favorite. Like he just gets all of these people hyped up who had given up on living. He gets them all hyped up and gets them all to like fight in a war. I'm like, this is crazy.
But I'm gonna kill Jason Momoa.
While
You're
he's
gonna
poisoned
kill
too.
Jason
Like I love it.
Momoa.
I love that scene.
What
I
I,
love that scene.
You know what?
you just made me realize something, and I just hate myself for not realizing it. We're about to witness Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy get power ups. I just realized that. Like we're
Yeah, all of them.
Bro,
got power.
I was saying earlier, I want Luffy to get a power up. Like if they say what I'm really hoping, if I could like choose what happens, I want Luffy to just say like, oh, you know what? I wasn't using observation hockey or conquerors. That's why I was getting blitzed. That's why my attacks didn't do that much. I was screwing up. Let me just use my hockey this time. And then he just does better.
high key.
That's what I'd
That
like.
would be so saddening to me because the way
I'd
he
love it,
fought
bro.
against Kaido, he was using all hockeys like interchangeably. It seems he was like, I can use my hockey freely. I'm peeing and pissing and pooping at the same time. Like that was really where I was at with Luffy. He was going crazy, and then Kaido was
He
like,
was.
I've never seen this kind of hockey use before. This is crazy. I'm Jason Momoa. That was really what I was hoping for.
I'm Jason Momoa.
That's Kaido.
I mean, like the reason I would like that specifically is because the arc kind of starts with Gabon telling Luffy to like focus on its hockey. So if he like reflects on everything Gabon said, he's like, oh, you know what? What I didn't do was that hockey stuff I was supposed to be doing, and starts doing that. I'd like that more, and then we can get rid of this Gabon over Kaido stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
That's fair. You know, that's fair. I guess what I don't like is that, and this is gonna sound very juxtaposed to what I just said. Oda is my favorite magic system explainer of all time because he has done Hayao Miyazaki's method to the degree that it has now pissed me off. Because Oda has never given me a direct
crazy.
answer once. I promise you, I guarantee you, this brother refuses to give you a direct answer. I remember in an interview he said, when we introduce Vegapunk, we're really gonna understand how devil fruits work. This brother said, "All right, so you know how dreams? Yeah, all right. No, how do devil fruits work? Dreams, brother. I'm sorry, it was that it sees devil fruits work because somebody has a dream. Explain it." Nah.
It was a bad
Bro.
answer. Yeah, I hated that answer so much. I was like, bro,
That's-
this told me nothing. This
Bro.
didn't tell me anything.
Bro, Sarah, you made such a good point there because like it kind of goes back to the lore stuff. One Piece has so many mysteries that I have to just not think about half of them in order to like be manga, because like there's so many mysteries that I want to know, but he just won't tell us.
No,
You know,
he'll pop up, be like, "All right, guys, so this is important. On a specific day, on that island, on a specific month, nigga. If you don't start getting specific, it's specific, but on a certain island at a certain place in the East Blue, and you see Dragon looking west. Why is he looking west? He's actually gonna move this time. Nope, back to the east. He ain't moving.
Nope.
It's not time. It's not
No,
time.
it's
Sorry. I assume, why is he always turning east? I don't know. Something important's happening. It's so important to me that Oda never explains anything, because that is the only thing keeping the One Piece community alive. That is it. Nothing else is keeping this community alive besides Oda continually saying a particular event will happen on this day when that man fights this person. That's it. Everything. If Oda gave answers, One Piece would be dead. I guarantee you. Nobody would read One Piece if he gave answers. Everybody's watching One Piece simply because Oda is so damn vague. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, he's like he's a vague merchant. It's all he cares about is being vague.
A vague merchant. Bro, he has there's infinite mysteries in this manga.
Well, he's a vague poster. He's the vague posters that you hate on Twitter.
But
That's
they get
exactly what
all
Oda
that
is.
interaction though. All that interaction.
They get all
That's
the interaction, but
crazy.
you hate them. But so this is my point though. So like for me, and here's the thing, like
Vague
I
poster.
love Hunter x Hunter, right? I love Hunter x Hunter. It's one of my favorite series. It's my top one. It's like my top one series along with FMAB, right? At least the anime. The manga, the issue with Togashi is he tells you too much.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Every time you see a power, he'll add different scenarios of when it can be used, why it can't be used here, when it can't be used. There's 64 conditions that you need to follow before you can actually use it. But then there's a caveat because if he does this, and it's like a wall of text. And in my mind,
Yeah.
I love the story, but then I struggle because I'm like, you are overstimulating my brain so much that I actually have to go to YouTube to like hear what they said, to see what other creators have said and be like, okay, so I thought that too. Okay, good. I'm not crazy. Like I'm not insane, right? But still, and this is why, like, when people say they hate the narrator, I'm like, bro, the narrator saves lives. Like genuinely saves lives because now I can see what's going on. I hear what's going on. I'm locked in. But at the same time, I see what Saros is saying because it's the immersion that you look for. The facial expressions, and you ask yourself, what does that facial expression mean? No answer. You don't get no answer. You're just gonna have to figure it out for yourself. I'm like,
my
you can-
favorite my favorite moment in all of manga reading history is when I was at the library and I was reading the Goku versus Frieza fight, and there's this facial expression that Goku makes. It's like the most misinterpreted facial expression of all time, I think. And it's my favorite facial expression. He just got done saying "you fool" to Frieza, boom, booming that nigga, and Frieza, and he looks down, and it's this face of contempt, disgust, sadness, and anger, all in a subtle expression. And we never get an explanation behind that because you can tell that Goku's Saiyan nature is, I really want to fight people. Frieza is extremely strong, and I could have saw so much potential in him if he understood that your birthright doesn't determine your strength in totality. Because all Frieza's forces were, my birthright determines strength. Captain Ginyu's entire thing was, okay, I'm going to take people that are strong at birth and use their bodies. That's why he was the strongest soldier in Frieza's army. He represented Frieza's ideology. It's important. The whole birthright thing. That's why Vegeta was so important to Frieza's army, because of the birthright thing. You're a low-class scum. I think that not giving an answer to anything is so important, because that's why I like Chainsaw Man's ending so much. That's why I love it so much. That's why that's why Hunter x Hunter is the only series I think that has properly explained a power system to a degree where it doesn't care about its own power system. Because they'll say, all right, so let me explain something about Hisoka, right? So Hisoka, and the way this works is Chrollo is going to be using this stuff, and I have to use this extra degree, and then Chrollo just tosses a human head at a brother and says, huh? And it says, I was lying the entire time. What? Yeah, I was lying. I was bullshitting. Anyway. You were bullshit? Yeah, I didn't even. I was lying the whole way through. Doesn't even matter. As a matter of fact, the reason I'm in this crowd, they're all bombs. Huh? The pies are bombs? It's a bomb factory.
You know, speaking about like different power systems, I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this. I don't like.
Me neither.
He doesn't like,
You cut
what
out. You cut
percent
out. You cut out. You cut out.
Oh man, it seems like I'm cutting out every time I talk. Sorry, I was saying I don't really like Binding Vows and JJK. I think they're overdone.
Yeah.
I think they're overdone.
Yeah.
Bonding vows are just less expressed versions of conditions in Nen. And I think after
Yeah.
at the end of the story, it just got ridiculous. Like Sukuna did like a billion binding vows, and we just never
Yes,
had any
bro.
explanation, and there was never any fallback. I'm like, why do you even have these in the story? Like, why?
I mean,
Like, why did you even have it? Like, it's
the thing I disliked about it is that you could make a list of them on the fly, with really like no drawback. So what I didn't understand is why doesn't everybody do that, right? It doesn't even seem to be a skill thing. We have Miwa doing it. You got all these people doing it. And I just didn't really understand.
I think it's similar to like, I think the reason why Nen is so good is because it really is intrinsically tied to your ability to be creative and your intellect, right? And then your personality on top of that. So like when you have conditions, it's really about how creative you can make your power be. Is it suited to you? And then do your conditions, the more conditions and restrictions that you can place within yourself, the stronger the power can be. With
Yeah.
binding vows, it just did not feel that way. And I just
Right,
really think it's a
I'll-
really cheap version of conditions from
I,
Nen. Like it's a
I'll
really cheap version.
I'll explain
That's
it.
facts. That's
I'll
facts.
I'll have to actually use, and this is very important. Actually, I'm happy we're talking about this because my brother actually really explained this very good to me, and it's the reason why he beat the lawyer so easily. So Sukuna is a lawyer because he's the only person that understands the loopholes in the binding vows. He's not breaking the rules. He understands the loopholes, right? So when Nanami uses overtime, you intentionally understand the trade, right? Restrict power now, gain additional power but later. When Sukuna starts modifying activation requirements, domain conditions, range durations in the middle of a battle, you think, oh, binding vows are abstract. No. See, he's so smart. This is crazy. He beat that. Remember how he got in that lawyer thing and immediately said, yeah, I did it. What's up? I'm guilty. He understands cursed energy to like all the he understands the power system so deeply. He is married to the power system because he's probably read up on the power system because he's got this intrinsic understanding of what the power system is. Everybody else thinks they understand the power system. Sukuna is the only person in the verse. That's why he's so strong. He's the only person in the verse that says, oh, there's a loophole here. You're allowed to do this. It's like when Sukuna and Gojo were having their battle and they were doing things like, oh, we can't naturally do this. Understood, because Sukuna does whatever he wants to because he understands it better than everybody else. Everybody's scared to do the vows. Everybody's scared. It's like when I imagine like Netero, right? In order to do this, he had to do a prayer of the heart. And then Medium thought, okay, I took his arm off so he can't pray. Oh, you're a dumbass. Prayer is a devotion of the heart. As a matter, I'm doing this for sport. I don't even need to do that. You're dumb. That when you get to that degree of power,
That's a good point.
it's that point. I think it's because people were looking for a Hunter explanation, but there was no Hunter explanation because I think Gege took inspiration from Oda where he didn't explain the power system enough, but he took inspiration from Hunter where he wanted a power system like Hunter's. So he did what Oda did with power systems while having the power system of Hunter, which is wild, but that's just what he wanted to do. So I give credit to that.
No, I think that's a great answer. I
That's a good
guess like
answer,
one of my complaints would just be that there's so many binding vows done on the fly. Meanwhile, in Hunter x Hunter, Nen contracts are more like planned out, done ahead of time. You know,
What
there's
about
more thought
Gon?
goes
What about
into them.
Gon? What about Gon? What about Gon?
I was gonna say, Gone.
But it's like the
Yeah, go ahead.
Good.
oh, sorry, I probably cut out, huh?
It's okay.
I was just saying Gon does have one, but the drawback was insane. You know, like the one time we see someone make a conditional Nen on the fly, he pretty much dies, loses everything from
That's
it. But
because
like in
he's
JJK, it's
stupid.
like
Well, that's because he doesn't understand the rules. He's an
that's
idiot.
true.
Like Gun is
That is-
objectively an impulsive idiot, and he has no moral compass at all.
True.
Like
True.
the entire plot of like people are like Gon's a good character. He's a good natured character. Incorrect. Gon is inquisitive.
This is okay. So you're stealing my video. You're
What?
stealing my video.
Oh, there's
Because
I'm sorry.
I want to talk about. Okay, no. Hold on. This is perfect. Because no, but it's not. It's not. You're stealing my video. But I really want to talk about Gon and Khmer Amp because I was really looking at it, and everyone thinks Gon is this amazingly good person, and he is. But it's also not. He is an amazingly naive child. That's what Gon is. He's just a naive child, right? And like he has a moral compass because he does, right? Because he hates the idea of killing people, right? He hates
I
it.
don't know about that.
The Phantom Troop. He got angry at the Phantom Troop because they didn't have an answer for why is it so easy for them to kill people. So I disagree with that.
Okay.
What I will say is, I don't think Gon has ever been challenged in his life until Chimera. I think the situation with Kite and the ants, and now mind you, it shocked everyone else. But Gon's immaturity finally shone true because his immaturity had been highlighted throughout the entire story. You remember in Greed Island with Susagera,
Oh,
where
he was like, I don't care about my
and he
arm.
said, yes, and he said, I want to fight. No, not even that. Do you remember when Genthu first challenged them?
Yeah.
And Gon was like, I'm right here. Come fight me now. And then they stopped him. And then Susagera looked at him and said, your friend is injured. You're injured. And you were about to summon the enemy and tell him your location because you wanted to fight him? That was childish. That was stupid. What are you talking about? And then he said, I'm sorry. It was in that moment I was looking at it and I said, God's been getting away with this. Everything is roses, everything is green, everything's gonna be okay, everything's gonna work out. He's been getting away with it until life finally got him. And it got him in Chimera, where he thinks, okay, I have all this rage, I have all this anger, I'm gonna let it out, I'm gonna kill these ants, and it's gonna be great. Until he sees an ant actually care for someone else. And he ends up saying the worst thing you could ever say to his best friend. Because what he said was not a light thing. What he said disrespected all the character growth that Killua had brought up, thanks to Gon, and threw it away. All because he threw a tantrum. Horrible, horrible moment for him. Like one of the worst moments ever.
But I gotta
And I want to talk
him.
about that.
But I gotta respect him because, and this goes into Gon's all development, right? Because when I first saw Gon, this is what I intrinsically understood, and this is so important for me. This brother is Goku at the beginning of Dragon Ball, because they were like, he's been out there for like, I don't know, 3 days waiting for that fish. Immediately, he's a psychopath. I can grasp that. That's my first interpretation of the character. He's waiting for a fish. I did, like,
That's hilarious.
That's the first thing I thought. That's all I thought. I was like, he's a psychopath. And then immediately after him being a psychopath, I immediately understood that he does not care about killing, because he was in Trick Tower. He's in Trick Tower, and then Killua was like, I'm gonna take this guy's heart. He took the guy's heart, put it in his hand, and Gon said, "How'd you do that?" Huh? I want to learn that. That's cool. It's like, oh yeah, I'm an assassin. Actually, I kill people for fun. For fun? That sounds fun. So like, Gon and Killua were having like a child conversation, and Killua was like, "This kid's crazy." And then the only after that, I remember this so specifically because I was rewatching this with my brother. He was in Greed, the tower thing. The tower, they're fighting and they about to fight Hisoka. And I remember he says, Killua was talking to a wing, and then like, so why are you guys here fighting the arena? Why you got Heaven's Arena? And then Killua said, we was getting some money, but I think Gon just like scrapping. I don't know. This nigga's scaring me. Like he just likes hurting people. I'm really scared. Cause Gon will voluntarily damage himself. Wing had to say, hey man, you can't be doing this stupid ignorant stuff. I need you to stop. I need you to reasonably stop this shit. And Gon is like, but if I don't do this, how will I hurt them? What? How will I hurt them? I said, what? How would you hurt them? And then after that, at York New City, he's like, well, I'm a con artist and a scammer. You can scam? And he's like, I love scamming. This is so cool. He's like, you're happy with scamming? Yeah, let's arm wrestle. Let's go. He's scamming people. It's like there's no point in the story where I thought to myself, this is a good-natured kid. I thought this guy is a criminal mastermind. Whole story.
So there's a underrated line towards Gon in York New City where this like gambling guy says he represents pure curiosity. He'll follow whatever interests him.
Oh,
so he's like, yeah, and he says he's like walking and he says Gon's walking like a fine line between like good and evil, because basically what it's saying is whoever Gon's around, he's going to become more like them. And if you look closely, like throughout the whole series, he's becoming more like Killua. And Killua was becoming more like Gon. They kind of like flip.
Yep, I agree. No, I agree 100%. Actually, I agree with that. I would think because this is why I love Chimera Ant so much. A lot of people try to downplay how good of an arc it is, and I still think it's one of my favorite arcs ever. It's like top
It's
5
great.
ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's great.
I think it's because there's so many different things you can focus on and say it was amazing. But one of the things I love the most is watching Killua, watching him develop, and his moment with Ikalgo, where he is now gone to Ikalgo. He's that light. Even
Right,
the
right.
anime highlights like when Killua has the moment where, excuse me, where he's like, "Gone, you are light." And that moment happens with Ikalgo when he looks at Killua and it's like, "Wow, this kid is light to me.
Mhm.
This kid is like everything I've wanted in a friend." So Killua is now taking on a lot of Gon's characteristics. Meanwhile, that darkness. Remember when Killua crashed out
Mm-hmm.
over Illumi in the Hunter exams, right? When that happened, Gon had the exact same moment with Pito, where he lost his mind, and the only reason he stopped is because Killua was actually there. That's the only reason. And Gon wasn't there for Killua because he crashed out.
Yeah. Well, I think what's important is Gon. I can't really think of a moment where Gon has been a light. Because when Illumi did that manipulation stuff with Killua, he grabbed that brother by the arm and said, "Say you're sorry." Did you break my arm? Say you're sorry. My foot. You broke my feet. It's broken. I don't. Hey, listen. I will squeeze harder, and I kill your whole family. I'm so. What? How did you do? I have nen. I don't know what that word means. It's crazy.
I mean, he's a psychopath. He is.
So have you guys ever thought that everything bad that happened to Gon in the Chimera actually Jing's fault? Because he literally just sends him there.
No.
Like, I mean, he didn't have to go through any of that, because if Jing was just like a normal person, Gon and Killua would have been sent to Jing. Right? Gon had already achieved like multiple impossible feats in order to see Jing. And Jing's like, no, that's still just not good enough. Go to the Chimera Antark and get traumatized real quick.
Well, I'll say this.
So
he was following his old hunter pass. That was the reason why he went to the island. He's following the old hunter pass and he went to Kites. And I think what's important to remember is Gon and Ging are the same exact character. I hate to phrase it.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I
they are
hate
the
to,
same person, and Gin is not a good person,
yeah.
and he's never even portrayed himself as a good person.
And
He's just not.
Gon is obsessed with that. Gon is like, I know my dad's a piece of garbage, and I love it. He's so adventurous. I'm saying, no, think about it. When he's talking to his auntie, he was like, your father, he doesn't care about you. Yeah, being a hunter must be great. He doesn't care about his own kids. I want to be just like that, huh? But you don't understand. He genuinely thinks you're trash. Okay. But you Gon, level with you. I can level cities. No, I'm gonna level with you. You need to understand that he became a hunter. Being a hunter means you give up everything. I can get up on everything. Let's go. I'm becoming a hunter yesterday. Like this, he doesn't care. He just doesn't care.
I actually think Jing is worse than people really realize. They show Jing, like, he gives away like tens of billions of dollars. Hopefully I'm not frozen.
No, you're good now. Tens of billions of dollars. Go ahead.
I'm good. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah. So there's a scene in the manga where Jing gives away billions of dollars. Gon and Mito live in the woods.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I was frozen there.
No, Gon. Yeah, they live in the woods. This is
okay. Yeah. So the point I'm making is, he has billions, and he lets his kid and Mito like be broke, eating like ketchup sandwiches in the woods.
Well,
I don't think that's. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll phrase it like this, right? Without him going through that struggle, and I'll phrase it like the same way I feel about how Shaquille O'Neal is right now. Shaquille O'Neal doesn't give any money to his kids because he wants his kids to build something for himself. I think, and same with Bill Gates too, right? He doesn't like do that whole thing. I think it's an important thing to build your own stuff. I think Ging wants Gon to build his own stuff. You can't be a Nepo baby, because I'd hate Gon if he was a Nepo baby. And I can tell you this right now. The only nepotism that Gon has is in any capacity the fact that he is Ging's son. That's it.
He just has insane potential, insane bloodline.
Yeah. Insane bloodline. Like, that's all he has. in really
You know,
any capacity.
I've something I've thought about is like imagine how strong Gon would be if Jing actually trained him. Like if Jing taught him Nen and
But well,
actually trained him at all,
yeah, but
like that guy would be insane.
he wouldn't be worthy of being his son if Ging trained him. That doesn't go to Ging's character or his adventurous spirit. We have to consider the character as well when a lot of this stuff. We have to consider the character. It would be amazing to see how, but you guys understand if Ging smells, Ging is like Sanji with cake. Ging is like Sanji with ingredients. Sanji was like, I got to sniff of the cake, all the ingredients. Huh? I got to sniff the cake. I know everything inside the cake. Like, you know everything? Yep. I can make it better actually. Like that's how Ging is. He saw Leorio use that punch once and said, "Got it." What? Got it. I learned it. You learned the whole technique, 100%. What's your nin type? Anything I want it to be, dummy. Like his whole thing.
So and I'm not even gonna lie to you as well. Like you can format that, but like I think at the end of the day, you take a lot of characteristics from your parents naturally. And I'm assuming, even whether Jin is right or not, he assumed if Gon is anything like me, he's gonna like this. And he left a lot of stuff behind him, right? He left Greed Island behind. What's it called? It's like everywhere he goes, because of his legacy, there's someone that's gonna help Gon out because he's Jing. That's not to say he's a good person. I just don't think Jin is as bad as people think he is. I think his crime is that he is an absent parent. Jim's crime is he's an absent parent, and his morality is really questionable.
What?
Like I don't really think he has morality. To be fair, Jim doesn't really seem like the type of person that has any morality.
I have to state this, and this is so important to all of Hunter x Hunter for me. There is not a single good person who is a hunter. There's not one.
Yeah, there's truth to that. Yeah.
Netero pops up and is like, I'm trying to.
Netero's not a good person either.
He's not a good person. He went to a dojo to flex. That's exactly what I would do. That's evil.
I'd argue he left the Zodiac himself. Like he put other he could fight.
You said he left the Zodiac himself?
He left the Zodiac?
No. Oh, I was saying, I'd argue he left the Zodiac out of the Chimera Antark so that he could fight himself.
Oh.
Like, there's a line in the manga that implies that's what he did. Like, that he thought if the Zodiac showed up, he wouldn't get to fight, so he brought weaker people.
Dude, Netero popped up, and I remember this because Pariston was like, I'm really sad Netero died. Well, why is that? I love pissing that nigga off, and he loved when I pissed him off. And all we would do was just ruin laws and lobby against each other. I built 26 McDonald's up the street just to piss him off. He built 36 Burger King up the street to piss me off. I hate Burger King. And they would just do that all the time. And it was beautiful. It was lovely. It was so funny. And then like it's crazy because when the first person with a moral compass pops up, actually, he wins. Leorio is the only good hunter in all of Hunter x Hunter. He's it. He's the only good person. He's it. There's nobody else. Everybody else is a piece of. Hisoka's there. Hisoka gets a vote. Hisoka's a pedophile. Like he gets
the vote.
He gets the vote. Like he's a predator, and they're just like, he's a good hunter. That man's strong.
They actively watch people die. Actively watch people die in the Hunter exam. Killua killed a random man, and he just kept going. It's like, all right, well, he's dead. I guess the exam's over.
He's like, he's a criminal.
And that's it.
That man's a criminal. I'm
like
taking his
they
heart
don't
out.
like. The reason I like Hunter x Hunter so much is because no matter how they try to act good, none of them were really good people. I think look at Palm. Palm was actually trying to kill those kids. I don't think y'all understand.
Palm was
actually going to. She was actually going to kill Killua and Gon. She was going to kill them.
Yeah, she was gonna kill him, but also you gotta factor in that Palm is like, how old is Palm? Like 40? How she dating a 10-year-old? What was that? Is that I'm not getting over that.
Crazy. And Gon is talking, and Gon is talking about it like, oh yeah, there was these ladies that came in the island, and I think they're cougars or something. I'm like, where is Mito? Like we talk about Jin being absent. What is going on with Mito? Why is she not? Where was the child supervision?
She's like, when I was 6 years old, it was just like, hey, let's go on a date with this child. That's crazy.
I also think Knuckle's a good person. I think Knuckle, he's
I
pretty much just another Leorio.
I thought you talking about the echidna for one reason. I was like, wow, yeah, I was like, he protects the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
But yeah, Knuckle is, I consider Knuckle to be a bad hunter.
his
A bad hunter.
his mentality would make him a bad hunter.
He
Unfortunately,
could have killed. He
yeah.
could have killed
Mhm.
Yuppie. He could have killed Yuppie. But you know what he did? He said, "I understand. I grasp it. I know what you like, man. You know what? I care about things." He sacrificed his bankruptcy for some pride, ego, arrogant garbage. And I'm like, you Vegeta ass character. You should, man. You ruining the mission for what? For feelings, brother. Be a hunter. And that's why it's so important to see the Chimera arc, because we learn. I think that's really capitalized for me, that hunters are hunters, right? They
Yeah.
are hunters. You're not grasping that. Like, they murder, they kill, they do anything in their power. That they're greedy, they're selfish, and that's why Ging is the top of the top, because he's the hunter, right?
I would like to share a bit more Jing slander. If you think about it, so if you think about it, he spends like an entire day on the tree talking with Gon, right?
Yeah.
And Gon tells him, "Hey, I used this crazy conditional nen where I almost died in order to kill Pito, and I risked like all my nen to do that." Jing cared about Gon so little, he doesn't ask him about his nen in any way, shape, or form for the rest of that day.
Yeah. Well think
Otherwise, he would have known that Gon couldn't use Aura, and he would have been able to fix it there. But Jing just actually does not care.
once you got to factor in this too. You got to factor in the fact that this is very important. He said, "Oh, you stupid. You didn't know how NIN contracts work?" He's like, "Well, no." "Oh, how? You didn't teach me." "Cool. You should have learned. Didn't you meet Wing?" "Yeah. Wing should have taught you." "Didn't you meet Bisky?" "Yeah. Bisky should have taught, dumbass." But I didn't know what was going on." "Didn't Kite teach you?" "A little bit." And Kite's dead. And Kite looks him right in the eye. Kite's dead. Well, Kite came back as a Chimera, and Kite became trans. Proud of her. But still, it's like Kite transitioned to a whole different race. And that's what happened. That was the whole thing. And then Ging was like, I mean, Kite's alive, but now Kite's living in a monkey girl body. Now I'm going to go sleep with Kite, and it's your fault. That was like a whole thing. That was crazy. That was nuts.
Yeah, I think it's just genuinely insane that Gon risked his life several times developing this nen in order to meet Jing, loses it all, tells Jing that while they're on the world tree, and Jing's just like, "All right, well, I'm gonna talk about my adventures and my friends for a day. You just sit right there. I don't really care about anything you just told me." And then when Gon calls him like later, he's like, "Hey, so yeah, I actually can't use nen, it looks like." If you pay attention to Jing's dialogue, you could argue he knew Gon was having problems, just didn't care. And he's like, "Yeah, you know what? Just deal with it." Actually, all
Well,
right, fine.
he did get some
He
pretty. He,
doesn't
did get
really.
some hope. He did get some. He said, "Hey, want to let you know, Nen is your life force. Yeah, if you alive, you got Nen in you. Buck up, little nigga. I'm about to go to the dark continent." "What? Bye."
Yeah,
Bye.
that's all he gave him.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
really it.
he didn't tell him anything. Like he didn't tell him like how he could get it back. He didn't tell him anything. He's just like, "All right, well, yeah, just deal with it, I guess." And hangs up. And hangs up. That's it.
Well, he did state, "And you ain't my son if you can't figure out Sudoku. Peace." Like, he really said, "I gave you a riddle." Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Riddle.
That's his whole thing. "You a hunter, ain't you?" "Yeah, that's what I thought. Bye." Like, I don't know. I find his character to be absolutely hilarious, because that's exactly what my dad would do. And that's just, he's a horrible father. I think Ging is an absent father, and I really, really respect that there's no like trying to redeem this, like no redemption at all.
There's no way. There's no redeeming.
There's nothing to redeem.
No,
him.
no, there isn't. There's nothing to redeem, and I've always been on that stance. But I do just think, I think the biggest sign of Jin's character is his interaction with Pariston. I love his interaction with Pariston so much, because it's almost as if Jin is like, "Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun ruining your day. You think you bad? Oh, I can be just as bad as you. I can be like," and it's just for the love of the game. Like, there's no, even when Jin was given all that money to people, he was just like, "I'm only doing this to piss him off. So here, you can take all my money. As long as I get a rise out of him, it's worth it." I think Jin might be the pettiest man ever. I think he's the pettiest hunter. I think he is the pettiest hunter ever. It doesn't even come
I agree.
close.
Yeah.
He is so petty.
I think Jing and Gon, they're pretty the same, but I do think Jing is like more heartless. Like he cares about people.
I would argue that as we progress.
I think
Oh, wait,
well,
go
I
ahead,
probably cut out.
go ahead, as you were saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying, I think Jing is a bit more heartless than Gon. I think they're similar, but I think Jing's more heartless.
I would argue that as we progress, if we progress on the story, because I don't know, my goats got back cancer at this point. But I would argue as we progress in the story, we will see, at least from what I really hope, that Gon just becomes an irredeemable piece of human trash. And I really hope we get to that. I want him to be how I feel about Beerus, right? Because to me, I think Gon is a force of nature. Is a hurricane evil, you might ask? Is a tornado evil? No, it just does what it do. If a tree falls and kills your mom, is the tree evil? No, it's the tree. It fell. I want Gon to be that, an undeniable force of nature, because that's what I think Ging is. He's an undeniable piece of human garbage. I appreciate him, and I kind of, I just think it's funny. I have lit.
I think it's funny.
It's important to me because I keep seeing these stories where I'll give you a perfect example. This is my favorite example. Megatron's my favorite villain because Megatron popped into the series and said, "Oh, I'm killing you. What's your motivation?" Boom, and punched him. Like that's Megatron's motivation, is that he hates it. He just he cares about his people more than anything. It's crazy. We need pure villains. I don't want he has a tragic backstory where he is incorrect. This is Captain Pollution. He hates the Earth. I love Captain Pollution. He's the opposite of Captain Planet. That's my favorite villain kind of. It's just notoriously evil just for the love of the game. It's almost comically evil. Comically. It's disgusting. It's funny.
I love comically evil villains though. Those are my favorite villains ever.
Yeah.
Because this is bro, why do you like him? He's just evil. That's it. He's just a bad guy. That's
someone said, "Am I a Horty Jones fan?" Horty Jones is not a villain. That man is trying to be Malcolm X. It's like if Riley from the Boondocks tried to be Malcolm X. That's Horty Jones. I don't like him. That's
a crazy analogy.
That's exactly what
crazy.
That's exactly Fisher Tiger was Malcolm X. Fisher Tiger was Malcolm X. That's who he was. And Jinbei is Martin Luther King. And then Horty Jones popped up and was like, yeah, I want to be just like Malcolm. That's stupid. You're an idiot.
Riley Freeman.
That's the exact comparison.
Lee Jones.
He's a stupid character. He's garbage. He's just garbage.
Okay. So on that note, I do have to go.
Okay.
I've extended it further. I've got work in the morning.
I
do have to wake up on time. Yes.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate the conversation. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for everybody for being in the chat. And I hope you guys have a lovely day or night wherever you're at. And that is the end of the stream. Bye.